Searching the Northwest to bring you the biggest variety in sports. Northwest Television Sports brings you the rejoicing of victory, the frustration of defeat, the drama of competition. This is Northwest Sports.
Northwest Television Sports is proud to bring you Western Oregon University coming up next.
Okay, put your backs there. Humboldt State will receive. Good luck, men. Shake hands. Have a good one.
Well, the referees informed us that the Western Oregon Wolves will be deferring to the second half. Michael, getting back to my original question, home opener after going 1-2 to start the season, Western Oregon looking to get things started off on the right note against a team that has come in here the last two seasons, in the Lumberjacks, and beat Western Oregon here in high-scoring contests.
Yeah, they're gonna have to continue what they did last week, getting some turnovers and touchdowns on defense, especially going against a high-powered offense and high-scoring team as Humboldt is. Scoring over 70 points last game, it's important that Western Oregon can get control and try not to let them score 70 again.
Getting to some of the players of the week that we noticed when we were doing our research earlier today, Curtis Anderson, number 3 for Western Oregon, a couple of big interceptions, but this offense that's being run by the Lumberjacks focuses Jaquan Gardner in the backfield, an absolute workhorse back there, carrying the ball over 40 times a week ago in those 72 points.
Yeah, averaging 145 yards a game so far. It's very important that they slow him down. Bo Heiberger, the linebacker for Western Oregon, needs to do a good job today.
So you're just saying Heiberger's basically going to be spying on him most of the day. They're going to keep one player looking in the backfield at all times. Where is Gardner?
Yes, definitely.
Well, we're getting set for kickoff here, and I know that before the game there was a moment of silence. If people are not aware, a freshman by the name of Nick Lingheim unfortunately passed away in a car accident several days ago. Crowd taking a moment today to commemorate the loss of 3 lives, unfortunately, in that car accident. I'm sure this season will be dedicated in many ways to the offensive lineman who graduated from Centennial a year ago and was only a freshman here at Western Oregon. Our thoughts with their family and our prayers are with him as well, as Western Oregon set to kick it away. Back deep for the Jacks inside their 5-yard line. Ball is taken. Straight up the field. Western Oregon covers it well. Number 22, we're going to get all our names in here. So J.J. Young, defensive back out of Des Moines, Washington, and Mountain Rainier, taking it out to about the 18-yard line. We'll get you set with the starters here real quick. They were nice enough to give us a list, so we'll know everybody out there. Robert Weber will be underneath center. Jaquan Gardner at tailback. At wide receiver wearing number 21, Richard Doctor. And Chase Crevichet wearing number 3. Shane Torrey will be the tight end wearing number 85. And William Maffey, the other wide receiver, at number 82. In the backfield, Robert Weber will be taking snaps out of the shotgun. Crevichet in motion. And they get the ball immediately to Gardner, and Tyler Johnson, team leader in tackles, gets that nice play in the backfield, and it'll be a stop for no gain.
Yeah, just running the read option there, hands it off to the running back, and a tackle. Great tackle by Johnson in the backfield.
Get used to it, Jaquan Gardner. He will handle the ball and handle the rock all day, no problem. Ball maybe backed up a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and long for this Lumberjack offense. A week ago, scoring 72 points, or 3 short of an all-time D2 record. On the sweep, they kick it out to Gardner. Gardner looking for some room upfield. A late flag coming in.
Looks like it's going to be a hold.
Gardner found the edge pretty easy there, Mike.
Getting to the outside, yeah, the receiver had a good block, but it looks like there was a clip on the outside to spring him for those extra yards.
Holding. Offense, number 4. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
John Todd called for the hold. It will back up the Jacks now inside the 10-yard line. It'll bring it up. It's 2nd down and 17. Weber wants to go right to the air, has a man over the top, man wide open over the top, and a long play, stiff arm, keeping it in bounds. It's going to be an 83-yard touchdown. The man with the penalty comes back with a vengeance and an 83-yard touchdown strike.
Yeah, it's a very quick pass, man-to-man out there. He just beat the cornerback and was able to take it to the house. Derek Parnell just wasn't able to keep up.
Derek Parnell just outside his reach, and Todd all the way to the end zone, the 6', 395-pounder, 83 yards through the air, and his extra point is up, and it is good. 7-0, Jacks on top of the Wolves here on Valley 17. .48 remaining here on the first quarter here on Valley 17. Kick goes back to Terreno Sweet, gets it inside the 5-yard line, looking for room to run up the middle. Finds nowhere to go. Western Oregon will have its first offensive possession just outside the 15-yard line, where senior quarterback Nick Duckworth will go to work. Mike, how do you take that?
Number 17, Western Oregon will sit one play. His helmet came off.
Always got to take somebody out when the helmet comes off for a play.
Yeah, what kind of punch does that take? I mean, that's a haymaker right off the bat.
Well, you hope that you're at home, you'll be able to get control again. But yeah, that's something you work all week and you get a big play on the first play. It's good momentum for Humboldt State, but Western's got a chance to just get the game going now. It's the beginning of the game still. Plenty of time.
Nick Duckworth averaging a couple touchdowns per game, 6 on the season, signals a man in motion from the shotgun. And there's a bad exchange between Sweet and Duckworth, and Western Oregon starting off on the wrong foot.
Well, Duckworth doing the smart thing, though, just getting on the ball right away. Live to see the next play.
It's a loss of 6 on the play, backing the ball up to the 11-yard line. These are two teams quite familiar with each other over the last several seasons, approximately since 2013. They've split the last 8 meetings, but Humboldt State had came into Monmouth the last 2 years and taken away road victories. Trying to get back some yards there on second down. It's going to bring up 3rd and long for this Western Oregon offense. Right now, not looking like they are in sync at all.
Running the read option again, but there's penetration right away, and Gang tackled. He wasn't able to get anywhere when
Caleb Tingstad also plays a little bit of tight end in the backfield, was on the carry there, basically getting back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe fell forward for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 14. 2 wide receivers up to the top of your screen. And Duckworth now from the shotgun surveys the field, looking to the right side and in the middle. Dangerous pass intended for Paul Revis. And I'll tell you, the ball-hawking defense of Humboldt State almost came away with an interception on that play, and it will force Western Oregon to have to kick the ball away here. It will be a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, running the zone there, the defense were able to just sit in there and wait, and when he saw somebody open, but the linebacker was able to knock the ball away right away.
Connor Cox, number 33 for the Lumberjacks, breaking that play up. And kicking the ball away. Looks like Crevichet runs away from it, and it takes a favorable bounce for Western Oregon. Crevichet didn't like the bounce. You'll notice later on in this game when Paul Revis is back for Western Oregon, he loves to bait the player in on that short hop and see if he can make a few people mess, but Crevichet running away from the ball.
Yeah, he may have looked like he had the sun in his eyes at that point where he just got away from the ball, but gives Western Oregon 10 more yards to be able to stop Humboldt State from getting right now.
Well, we already know the Weber connection to the outside worked along the sideline on their first possession. Gardner touching the ball a couple times. 4 wide receivers for the Jacks on offense, and they'll send a man in motion. Gardner off the left side, again looking for room to run. And the run defense for Western Oregon so far up to the challenge.
Believe Tyler Johnson there again on the tackle, running a sweep to the outside, but able to make the tackle. He tries to get to the outside, but yeah, Tyler Johnson there to make a great tackle in the backfield.
Johnson's pretty sure-handed, leads the team in tackles, has the last 2 seasons. Kind of always been a very, very good player that's just been getting better as his career continues here at Western Oregon. Loss of 1 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11. And it looks like man in motion for Western Oregon's going to be number 94, Blaine Burnett.
And the tackle, James Bain, doing the smart thing there and trying to get the penalty on Western Oregon. We'll see what happens.
Offside defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Yeah, offensive linemen are taught these days, if you see the defensive lineman come across the ball, just stand up, make them get the penalty. Just got to wait to see what the refs do on those. Sometimes they don't do it the right way.
Ball placed on the 35-yard line. The 5 yards will make it 2nd down and 6. Just over 3.5 minutes removed here in the first quarter. Weber wants to go back to the air. Going underneath, and good man-to-man defense, but a late flag going to come in. Man-to-man defense being played right there by Chris Adamo, 5'11" freshman. I thought he got his hand in there right at the last second.
The ref saw something different, apparently. They ran the man in motion to try to get man-to-man on the outside, put in the...
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
I'm not certain who this referee is, but I feel like we're in an old-school boxing match when he calls out the... Just like, keep it clean, boys. 1st and 10 now. Already into Western Oregon territory and on top 7-0. The number 22 team in the country looking to get off to a quick start. Crevichet at the top of your screen. Weber looking that way. And an interception. Have to take a look at it coming off the field here.
Well, they run the play action. As they pass to the outside, the ball is thrown to the outside. And Ryan Maniti was able to get the interception off the deflection and get a nice little return there, too, to set up the Western Oregon offense.
It's tough sometimes with Crevichet because you focus in on him so much because he's such an elusive player, and obviously Weber looking him in the whole time, basically detailed to the defense and Maniti that there'll be an opportunity here for an interception, and there was. Western Oregon now. Great starting field position after a 3-and-out on their opening possession. Sweet gets the ball off the right side. He'll take 4 or 5 yards, and just a good, strong run off tackle.
Yeah, running the zone running play and able to get 5 yards. You hope to do that every play. 5 yards down the field, each play gets you a touchdown. Just hope that they can keep it up now.
Duckworth fairly efficient as a passer, somewhere around 57% on the season. Got plenty of targets out there, wanting to get the ball to number 6, Paul Revis, as soon as he can. Pisano was the intended target there, number 4.
Yeah, on the play action, it looks like the linebacker was able to get a little bit of a bump on him there, but I guess they said it was inside of 5 yards. There was no penalty.
3rd and 5, ball just on the other side of midfield. Western Oregon needing to take this ball down to the 44-yard line of the Lumberjacks to pick up 1st down.
Few yards to bump the receiver, and they took full advantage of it on that play.
Duckworth will have to go to the air. Throws out the flat to Paul Revis. Revis covers up the ball well. It'll be 1st down yardage as he takes the ball inside the 40-yard line. Western Oregon's first down.
Really quick play, great play for 1st down yardage, and was able to take advantage. And Revis starting out strong, hoping to continue what he does every game.
Revis is one of those guys, volume. The more touches he gets, the better he seems to get.
Tries to make a man miss, gets another couple yards there. Good job.
Revis now at the top of your screen. And looking to go over the top, and man, they're going to get a hold here. I think Pisano was saying he was held, and both, there's all sorts of laundry on the far side of the field right now, at least 2 flags.
Pisano had him beat on the play action, was going to run down the field wide open, but the cornerback knew he was beat, so he took a grab. Now we have to see if it's a hold or a pass interference. you're liking that Western Oregon's coming out the way they are.
Holding. Defense, number 25. 10-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Well, the penalty certainly helps Western Oregon as they are matriculating down the field quite nicely. Penalty was called on Ryan McKenzie, 6'1", 185-pound senior out of San Jose, California. Exactly 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter on Valley 17 with the Wolves trailing 7-0, knocking on the door. Ball on the 28-yard line. Nick Duckworth set to go back to the air immediately. And he gets the ball right back to Paul Revis.
Yeah, they like that play, going 5 wide, putting it man-to-man for everybody, and just having the receiver go down 4 or 5 yards, turn around and wait for the ball and see if he can make a play afterwards.
Revis 2 catches on this particular drive.
But it is a good drive right now, especially after the mishaps on the first one and the momentum that Humboldt State had. They're trying to take advantage of everything and get back in the game right now.
Working on getting them live stats, but right now having some technical difficulties. Nick Duckworth, though, 2 for 2 to Paul Revis on this drive. Sweet in the backfield. And it's a straight run play off the right-hand side. And Sweet is a small little player trying to hide behind his guard and tackle off that right side, trying to pick up a few yards. It was 3rd and 3 on that play, Michael. It could bring up a 4th down call here.
Yeah, you had Ron Rose, the guard, pulling around trying to open a hole, but Humboldt State defense stood strong there and held him to a short gain. But it is 3rd and 2 now as well.
3rd and 2, okay.
3rd and a short 2.
Needing to get the ball around the 18-yard line. Western Oregon trying to match Humboldt State's original score in this game. Little wrinkle play out to Revis. Revis makes one defensive player miss. Won't go down easily, but he'll pick up his 2nd first down.
Great play again for a first down. They're going to have man-to-man, and I think Revis could take advantage of that every play the way he's playing right now.
Sitting down well and giving exactly what the defense gets him.
Yeah, Duckworth sees him open, throws him the ball, and Revis is already in first down territory, able to try to get a few more yards off the play. Good job.
Inside the red zone, Western Oregon, after going 3 and out on its first possession, now looking to even up the score. Ball in the 13-yard line. Duckworth will have 3 wide receivers out to his left. A little pick play. Very well designed, but it doesn't go exactly where it went. Zach Suarez, a 6'1", 185-pound senior out of Sacramento, California, gets the reception. Zach had a couple of long touchdowns a week ago.
And you hope you can get something like that. It's a screen play, but it's a screen play to the outside, but the defense is there. There's a safety's up, makes the tackle. So a short 3-yard gain.
Checking into the game, Evander Willingham, 6'4", tight end. Arn Ferguson does like to feature the tight end in these situations. Maybe if you can get him past that first layer of the defense and the linebackers, maybe you find him at the back of the end zone. Duckworth looking out to his right and underneath. Staying on his feet. Great second effort from the receiver for Western Oregon. Best I could tell, was it Ty Curry, but I couldn't tell if it was 14 from that vantage point.
Yeah, it was a great catch. Ran a slant, I believe. And
it was Suarez.
Duckworth throws him a slant. The defense doesn't wrap up, and he's able to get another 5 yards. Almost scores down on the 1-yard line, but it sets up 1st and goal.
1st and goal. And Suarez must have a real nose for the end zone because he wouldn't go down. He got himself north and south and was trying to put that ball, at least get that nose right over the line there. But right now, a chance for maybe Sweet to march in and get the opening score for Western Oregon. Off the left-hand side, keeping his feet moving. Tony Dorsett would be proud. Sweet with the 1-yard touchdown. 7-6, awaiting the extra point.
Sweet didn't want to be stopped there. Missed tackle, ran to the outside, and was able to score.
Adrian Saldana coming out. Special Teams Player of the Week in the GNAC Conference, coming out to see if he can put an extra point on the board that would tie this game up.
It's everything you want to see from Western Oregon, though.
Snap is up. Saldana's kick is good, and we are tied at 7 with 6:48 remaining in the first quarter. Wolves and Jacks action coming up next on Valley 17. Western Oregon and its defense being opportunistic, getting the Weber interception and then converting it into 7 points as Sweet gets it into the end zone on the second effort, churning those legs. Number 20, an easy touchdown.
Great answer from Western Oregon. Great answer.
On the season, our good friend Toriano Sweet now. First touchdown. Great special teams there from Western Oregon. Trebriel Larry with the head-on collision.
Great job by Trebriel. Great wrap-up. Hold him back to the 20-yard line, see what Western's defense can do now. See if they can cause another turnover and take the lead in this game.
I mean, Humboldt State is used to 2-to-1 yards outgaining their opponent, and they put the hurt on Simon Frazier, 72-14. So you know they can score in bunches. Jaquan Gardner in the backfield alongside Robert Weber at quarterback. And Gardner will get it off the left side. They're really trying to establish that. Tyler Johnson gets in late on the tackle.
That is their game. They're going to keep handing the ball off to Jaquan Gardner, and he's able to get 6 yards on that going off the left side.
First time they've really had any positive yards over there, it seems. Again, the linebacker that's probably spying on him right now, maybe number 9, Tyler Johnson. Haven't called out Bo Hightower, who won the GNAC Player of the Week on the defensive side. Heiberger, excuse me. I want to say Hightower. I must be thinking about the
Police Academy.
Police Academy movies. Ah, goodness, yeah. Child of the 80s. Heiberger, though, got that award in September 11th that week. Big run out to this left side, and Gardner is tripped up. And if he's not tripped up, that's pay dirt.
Yeah, he's up to running right up the middle, makes a quick jump cut. Good sweep to the outside, and then sees one blocker.
Looks like Joey Ruse.
Joey Ruse able to get that shoestring of Gardner and stop the touchdown because there was nobody else that was going to be able to grab him from that point.
Looks like his knee went down at the 40, Mike. I mean, he must have stumbled further, about 12 yards further. But again, a nice stop there. Western Oregon now needing to get composure back on defense as Gardner, a couple of good runs to start off this drive. Rolling out Weber. Weber turns upfield, has a man wide open. Hits his receiver. Easy pickings right there.
See number 16 there.
Jameer Austin with
Jameer Austin, yeah, he's man-to-man out there, and the safety doesn't find him off the play-action motion. It looked like they were going to go to the tight end originally, but the deeper throw was available, so he took advantage of it.
35-yard pickup for Weber. That's the second big play coming out of the aerial attack from Humboldt State, the number 22 team in the country. Weber going right back at it. He'll go right underneath. And a bad open field tackle and a second touchdown. It'll be a 25-yard scamper, and it was nothing for Ryan McKenzie.
I believe John Todd was able to get that touchdown.
John Todd, my bad.
Yeah, again, when the tackle was missed, you see they run the play action again. You keep running with Gardner, hoping it's going to open up the play action. And when the tackle is missed down the field, his speed's able to get him into the end zone. But 2 touchdowns for John Todd thus far. It's the opening they want to have on offense.
Chris Otomo misses the tackle, letting Todd go in for his second touchdown. An 83-yarder and a 25-yarder so far. Penalty flags here on the extra point attempt.
Looks like some movement on the line.
That's big playability. I mean,
well, after putting up 72 points.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 85. 5-yard penalty, retry.
After putting up 72 points last week, they're used to scoring, and they know how to score. Again, if they keep pounding the ball and set up those play-action passes, it can be a long day for Western Oregon. They're going to have to make some adjustments.
Shane Torrey whistled for the penalty. It'll back it up a few yards as the extra point attempt is up. And it is good. And it'll be a touchdown lead at 14-7. Humboldt State on top of Western Oregon. More action coming up in the first quarter here on Valley 17. Well, Humboldt State has made it very clear that they can score points. They can score them in bunches. John Todd now, 2 touchdowns early on this afternoon for Humboldt State, an 83-yard strike on their opening possession, and a 25-yard touchdown to cap it off. It's a 14-7 lead for the Lumberjacks, as Sweet runs underneath the ball around the 10-yard line for Western Oregon, looking to get some good field position. Covers up well, but he'll get the ball just outside the 25-yard line, and a gang tackle coming from the Jacks defense.
Well, Western had some positive gains last drive. Continue the same thing, they'll stay in the game. And you want to really probably keep the Humboldt offense off the field as much as possible, so keep the ball as long as you can, Western Oregon.
Nick Duckworth averaging nearly 300 yards a game in the air, 288 over the first 3 games, 6 touchdowns to go along with a 57% completion rating. Has focused in on his favorite target, number 6, Paul Revis, multiple times here in the first quarter. Sweet will get the handoff there, run off the...
Good positive gain up the middle for 5 yards. Looked like they're running the trap play.
Sweet comes off the field. Going to put Pisano in the backfield now, along with Duckworth. Revis and Pisano now. Well, now they're going to put Revis in the backfield here. Trying to give him a little sweep. Makes one man miss. Cuts it around. Gets to the corner. Picks up 5 or 6 yards and nearly a first down. That is a shifty player.
And it's becoming more popular. You put a shifty, fast player. The Rams like to do that with Tavon Austin. They're quick. You know, it doesn't get a chance. If a linebacker's coming up, they can make a quick move and get an extra 5 yards like that play and get a first down from it.
Chains move Sweet back into the game. Revis now all 3 touches having an impact offensively for Western Oregon today. Like I said, you cannot say it enough. They want him with the ball as much as possible. Duckworth on a broken play. He's going to have to run on his own. And a good block there, freeing up the quarterback to actually pick up yards on that play.
Mistake, but a positive gain. You hope for that anytime. It looks like they were supposed to run a play to the... I don't know who that was supposed to go to, but Duckworth was smart, still had blockers out there, and was able to get a good gain, 6 yards.
Caleb Tingstead.
3 yards.
Yeah, Caleb Tingstead coming off the field, starting tight end for Western Oregon. Definitely having something going on with his left shoulder at the moment. It'll bring up 2nd and 7, ball on the 42-yard line. Western Oregon trailing by a touchdown. Not having much luck in the defensive backfield so far as Western Oregon. Let's see if they can strike back. Timeout going to be called by Western Oregon.
Timeout, Western Oregon. First charge time out of the half.
We'll step away from the action. We'll be back for more first quarter action on Valley 17. Nick Duckworth and the Western Oregon offense now at 2nd down and 7 on the 42-yard line. They'll bring Revis to the left side in the backfield along with Duckworth. Revis now does have the room he needs, keeps his feet the best that he can, falls forward for a small gain. Revis sometimes even gets ahead of himself.
Yeah, just throwing out to the flat there, and he's able to get a couple of yards from the play. Those plays are set up just to see if they can make a linebacker or a defensive back miss a tackle, and you can get a first down off of that play. It's very popular. And
Mike thinks it's popular. He's starting his own trend. I love it. You know, it's like he's talking, you know, we just got to do it, you know? Duckworth, though, will be at 3rd and 4 on the 45-yard line. Needs to take it up close to midfield for Western Oregon to keep this drive alive. Duckworth surveys the field. He's got a man over the middle, a little bit too high for his intended target, Pisano.
He was lucky to get the pass off. They had some pressure coming from the backside. But again, the pass was just a little bit off, and luckily it didn't get intercepted. To see if the Western Oregon can set up Humboldt to some bad field position.
Nate Osborne will be kicking the ball away to Chase Crevichet. I've been saying that name for 4 years now. He's the bane of our existence. No, great player for Humboldt State, an all-purpose player now, kicking away from him, and I don't blame him. Hopefully the adjustments have been made by the secondaries coach and the defensive coordinator here maybe to try to keep the ball in front of them a little bit more, because they have struggled mightily keeping the ball away from number 4 and Mr. Todd with his 2 touchdowns.
Both of those were man-to-man plays. It's just you can get beat with those really easily. It's player on player. You see what happens, and thus far John Todd was able to get a touchdown twice, but again, make some corrections.
Dominique Harrison drawing the duties to be covering right now one John Todd. He's given him plenty of cushion on the bottom of your screen. Crevichet in motion. Crevichet almost met in the backfield, but looking for blocks. No one there. Tyler Johnson finishing off the play, maybe for a half a tackle. Traviel Larry will get the tackle on that play.
And Humboldt's been throwing the ball down the field, but their main focus is running the ball with Gardner. It opens up a lot of options when you're backing up, hoping to stop the pass.
Well, you got a complete workhorse back there like that can carry the ball 30 to 40 times, and then you got these receivers that are big and physical, and then you got a scat back like Crevichet. You got plenty of options, and obviously that's why they're putting up points at such a prolific rate at this point. 2nd down and 7 on the 26. Gardner straight up the middle.
Running right up the middle, missed tackle. There's a little bit of talk after the play. Again, that's what Gardner does. Just a workhorse. 5, 6, 7 yards each play.
He's averaging nearly 7 a carry on the season. I think around 6.7. So I mean, he's putting you in second and manageable every time he touches the ball.
Offensive coordinator's dream.
Time of possession right now definitely in favor of the Lumberjacks as we head under a minute here in the first quarter. Todd got ahead of himself on that one. John Todd was ready to start running as fast and as far as he possibly could on that play. Unfortunately, did not catch the ball.
No, running the quick outside screen play, not able to get a ball. Sets up a 2nd and 10.
Weber's been extremely efficient as a quarterback. He hasn't only had to put the ball up in the air roughly 44 times in the first couple of games, but he completes it at 78% at a clip. Right now, needing to get the ball to approximately the 42-yard line. Gardner now set in motion, setting up a screen play. Coming underneath the middle, a 2nd interception for this Western Oregon defense. Dominique Harrison coming in from his defensive back position.
A lot of crossing routes, but you said Harrison?
Yeah.
Harrison did not buy any of it, was able to step up and get that interception. Another turnover to set up Western Oregon's offense.
John Todd, obviously now they are keyed in on him. Obviously, Dominique Harrison was coming up with a 2nd interception for this Western Oregon defense. Picking up the ball now on the 40-yard line of Humboldt State, trying to match them score for score in a high-scoring first quarter here of GNAC action on Valley 17. 39 seconds left on the clock as Nick Duckworth and this offense go back to work. Revis, Pisano, and the entire quartet on the right side. Duckworth going underneath center. Oh, what a great little catch from Revis. Revis turning something that was nothing into very little something.
And he might have got credit for a run on that play. It looked like it could have been a lateral. But yeah, he dug it up from the ground and was able to pick that up, make a man miss, and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Gotta love players with those low centers of gravity. They're able to pick the ball up and get running quickly. Didn't pick up a darn yard whatsoever, but Revis always exciting to watch, no matter what happens on the football field. Duckworth now back customary in the shotgun position. He'll give it to Sweet off the left side. Sweet taking his sweet time, getting to the corner, and picking up 1st down yardage.
Yeah, it's really good blocking down the field.
That is end of the first quarter.
Saved by the quarter.
Sweet will get the 1st down. We'll come back and see what Western Oregon can do to see if they can get this game tied up at 14 apiece. 2nd quarter action coming up next on Valley 17. Second quarter here at MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo joined alongside Michael Brown, my compatriot Man, it is a track around this field right now, Michael Brown, and it's been a track meet so far. The number 22 team in the country coming on the road, putting up 14 points on 2 big touchdowns to John Todd. And Duckworth now going back to the air, throws an underneath route to Paul Revis right near the marker of a first down. A good first play to start the second quarter.
Just going back to Revis like they do over and over again. He has 35 receptions coming into this game, almost 400 yards receiving. And another play-action pass, man-to-man, able to get there. Safety wasn't up fast enough, and Revis does what he does and gets another first down.
Looks like Kenny Portera, number 5, checking in. Another small receiver for Western Oregon. Seen him in and out of action. Obviously, I'm going to keep you in touch with Paul Revis at all times. He's at the bottom of your screen with flowing locks, wearing number 6, and really been an instigator to this offense today. Duckworth looking that way. And man, over the middle, it's a touchdown. It's touchdown Wolves.
Yeah, and as you see, he's got plenty of time back there. Sees a man come open in the end zone. Great pass by Duckworth and a touchdown for Western Oregon.
Hate to say this, Mike. I know we've been having trouble with it. I couldn't even tell. Was that a single digit that scored? Or
I apologize for that myself.
Is it Revis? Is it Portera? Or was it Suarez? We'll just say that Western Oregon scored a touchdown. Extra point is up. And they are going to give a signal that it's good. And this game is knotted up at 14. Second quarter action coming up next on Valley 17. Duckworth was in the pocket, had a perfect line of sight into the end zone, throws a dart into the middle, and it was Portera who came in on that exact play, obviously calling number 5's number, and it's knotted up this score at 14 apiece between these two combatants of the GNAC Conference. Soldana's kick is away, and it's a good one deep down towards the goal line. And the Lumberjacks now have the ball, looking to get field position. In a game that started off 0-0 is now 14-14, 14-11 remaining here in the second quarter and the first half of action on Valley 17. Michael Brown really couldn't ask for maybe even a better start for both teams, but Western Oregon has taken a couple of haymakers and bounced right back.
Yeah, you see Humboldt score as many points as they did, and you could think, oh, here it comes again. But they're staying with them, and the defense is causing some timely turnovers to keep them in the game. That's all you could ask for right now against a high-powered offense like this.
Robert Weber surveying the field. It'll be on first down. He'll go straight to the air. He throws underneath. Far side of the field, best I can tell, it will be John Todd with the reception.
John?
It's not John Todd. Going back, we're going to have to go find our list of starters here. Gosh, it's one of the funnest things every week. You say 2, I say 5.
Okay.
We need a spotter, boys. Mike and I's 40-year-old eyes cannot see very well anymore. I got maybe Thaddeus Fila, but you're saying. And Western Oregon coming up with its first sack of the game.
Just a running play.
Just a running play. Thank you, Michael. Sorry, I was enamored with trying to find out people's names.
Just trying to run up the middle, but there was nothing happening. The whole Western Oregon defense was there at the same time to make a great tackle in the backfield. You expect Gardner to get the ball in situations like that, but they were able to stop him. They were ready. Now, again, third down to see what they can make of this, see if they can get a good
Bo Heiberger being credited with the tackle for loss. Third down and 10, ball on the 28. Western Oregon looking to exert some pressure potentially from the outside, showing some blitz. Weber steps up, and he's got a man wide open in the middle of the field. Very soft zone there, and it was an easy first down for Weber and this Jacks offense to get.
Yeah, Weber takes the ball and looks around.
Dylan Zavernick.
The corner came up, the safety didn't come up close enough, and he was able to find a hole in the zone and get a first down for Humboldt State. It's another one of those things they have to make the corrections on the defensive side of the backfield to stop these plays from Humboldt State.
18-yard pickup for Weber and the Humboldt State offense. Western Oregon dropping back in a little bit of zone. Weber trying to go down the seam. was trying to go right back to Zvernik. See if he could catch the hot receiver. Weber throwing a dart right there, but a little bit too high for his receiver.
They're able to stop Gardner 2 plays ago, and now they're going to the pass. They went 5 wide that time. See if they can find a matchup that they like. Weber stayed in back, but wasn't able to connect to the receiver.
When you see the receiver stand out of the huddle like that, is that meaning that the quarterback's calling the play as he calls out things now?
Sometimes. It just depends on their offense.
Play whistle dead. Penalty flag down from the far side of the field. Humboldt State heading in a direction saying
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So, Mike, I'm going to teach this little
James
secret.
Bain, number 79, the only time the offensive linemen get called out is when they get a penalty, unfortunately.
There you go. You would know. You were defensive lineman. What am I talking about? 2nd and 15, moving the ball back to the 41-yard line. A little play action right there. Weber getting himself turned right back up the field. Great open field tackle from Western Oregon's defense on the far side of the field. That might be outside my range.
Yeah, they run the play action, and he has time to run the outside.
Richard Doctor's first reception, but he's taken down immediately.
Doctor read the play the whole time, was able to make a great tackle.
Might have been Curtis Anderson, number 3. Curtis Anderson needs some special reference. That guy had 7 tackles a week ago for Western Oregon, including 2 big interceptions. So definitely a nose for the ball. Watch for number 3 and Curtis Anderson, GNAC Defensive Player of the Week. Weber's going to get flushed out. Pressure coming from Western Oregon. He's going to try to scamper on his own, but he's not going to get there. Tyler Johnson, I think, is going to tackle him short. Mike, it's going to bring up a 4th down. And a tough call maybe for this Humboldt State offense for the first time, but they're getting right back up, ready to go.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tough call for a team that scored 70 points last week.
Interesting.
But I was wrong.
That's why we play the game.
Maybe they figure they're on the road. Let's play a little bit
conservatively.
A little bit more conservative. Fooled me, Coach.
Very fooled. All of us were fooled. Bamboozled we were.
But a great stop again by the Western Oregon defense.
First chance for Paul Revis maybe to get under one and do something special teams-wise. Big pooch kick. Revis runs away from it, and that kick is into the end zone. Not a very good kick from
30-yard net.
30-yard net. You'll take it. Western now comes out. Mike, they've got the first opportunity actually to take a lead in this game.
Hey, they're at home. This is where they want to be. They know what they're doing. Apparently, they're able to tie the game at this point, and you just hope the momentum from the last couple drives. Let's see a lot of Revis. That's what's coming.
I mean, so far the difference in the game is the 2 turnovers, as Western Oregon's been able to capitalize on those, and the big playability of Humboldt State been on full display in their aerial attack. But Nick Duckworth and the rest of the offense for Western Oregon taking care of the ball well. In fact, in that first quarter, I was surprised when we got the stats. It was a 2-1 time of possession advantage. It felt like Humboldt State had the, for me, it felt like they had the ball most of it, even though they had the 2 big plays.
The scores make it seem like it's a lot longer. But
Duckworth gives it to Sweet. Sweet doesn't have any room to run. And a whole bundle of hair comes out of there from number 54 for Humboldt State. This is the name we've been wanting to say all day. I'm going to let you say it. It's Sefa.
Sefa Tawanui.
Tawanui Sefa comes up with a tackle for Humboldt State. 2nd down and 10, no yards picked up there. Empty backfield for Duckworth here on 2nd down. 3 wide receivers out to his right in the bottom of the screen. Duckworth, though, goes to the left side. A little bit of a decoy. And you know who has the ball. It's number 6, Paul Revis.
And yeah, that play's been working. Go 5 wide, go 4 wide, and throw it out to Revis, let him make a play, and he's able to do it again and again, this time for another first down.
Revis will come down or out here on first down, get a quick breather. Ball placed on the 32-yard line. Clock now running under 10 minutes remaining here in the first half of action between Humboldt State and the Western Oregon Wolves. Live from MacArthur Field. Duckworth picks up a bad snap, gets it off immediately, and it looks like the receiver Pisano on the far side makes his player miss, forced out of bounds, but not before he gets past midfield and not before he gets another first down.
They are moving the ball the way they want right now. Another quick pass out to the receiver.
Wish I could tell you again. That's the person that I keep doing it. Maybe wasn't that? Maybe it was Joey Roos. I cannot tell who this person is in the middle. That's terrible, Mike. We really do need to get glasses.
Telescope, binoculars.
Something high-powered from NASA. Duckworth now operating around midfield, gives the ball off to Sweet. Sweet runs off the left side and picks up 6 bruising yards for the tailback.
Changing it up, run to pass, pass to run, and it's able to get them down the field right now. It's very nice.
Number 20, Western Oregon's helmet came off. He will sit one play.
Tailback Sweet has to come out of the field of play. It's a rule in Division II. If your helmet comes off, you get to sit the next play, no matter the reason.
Safety. Teach the kids to make sure they snap those buttons on their helmet.
Ball on the 42-yard line. It's 2nd and 4. Duckworth looking to maybe pick off something big here and tries to go deep over the top. Has Revis. Revis in the end zone. Oh, and Paul Revis, the sure-handed number 6. Oh, agonizingly close to a 42-yard touchdown. Oh.
Yeah, great time back there for Duckworth in the back. Throws it to the end zone. Great pass. And Revis just thought he had that one a lot quicker and dropped the ball. Took his eyes off for a second there.
Revis is what we like to refer to as a person that plays with a little bit of emotion or a chip on his shoulder. I won't be at all surprised they come right back to this. He wants to score this touchdown. But look at that. Just like he is, the tactician that he is, and the football player that he is, Paul Revis picking up at least his 3rd or 4th first down for this offense in the first half for Western Oregon.
He wanted to make up for that last play, and he did. He was able to get a first down, man-to-man again.
16-yard pickup for the senior wide receiver, everything for Western Oregon, Paul Revis.
Again, wide open. The DB is just staying way back too far, and Revis is quick. Able to catch the ball and advance it for another 10 yards.
Duckworth will hand it off to Sweet. Sweet takes that nice little cut out to the left, gets it back into the middle, and he's going to find 6 or 7 yards again.
There is some yellow on the field, though. I didn't see what it was, but it's in the backfield. We may see.
Ew.
May see a holding
Don't like
call.
that. You don't want that.
It looks like it was a hold.
Holding, offense, number 51, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, holding is called, not much to the chagrin of the home team. Doesn't sound like the crowd liked the call very much. That'll bring up 1st and 20. Ball placed on the 36-yard line, just outside the 35. Western Oregon trailing 7-0, came back and scored, trailed 14-7, tied it back up, and now with 7:40 remaining here in the first half, their first chance maybe to take a lead in this game. Sweet will take it off the left side. Great blocking up front for the tailback, and again, he just seems to keep those feet churning and moving and picking up positive yards.
Yeah, almost back to the original line of scrimmage as they run the zone play to the outside, and great blocking downfield. Looks like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
I saw Ryan Reynolds there.
Michael.
Alex Kappa with.
He's thinking Deadpool. Yeah, that's all right.
Timeout, Humboldt State.
Humboldt State takes a timeout. We'll step away for a short break ourselves. We'll be back for more football on Valley 17. Humboldt State taking a timeout. Want to get their defensive alignment correct right now for the first time. Western Oregon knocking on the door on the 29-yard line. 7:32 remaining in the first half. Nick Duckworth taking this offense for Western Oregon and trying to convert and give Western Oregon its first lead. Pisano out of the backfield in motion. They run a little pick play. Pisano now, if he can just lay out, would have had an opportunity at that, but the ball overthrown, and he was covered quite well by Connor Cox.
Yeah, it looked like they were throwing the pass to the outside. A really good attempt down to the goal line, but overthrown, and will be on a 3rd and long now.
Michael Brown and I actually went to high school together at Lake Oswego High School. And one of our very own, Stephen Long, enters the game for Western Oregon on the left side. Nick Duckworth. Duckworth, though, going right side into the air. Ball is underthrown to Revis. And they're going to get the call, and I think Revis sold this. Juwan Murphy does not turn his head, and I think Revis sold this call.
Most definitely. He was lost, and Revis took advantage of it.
Yeah, Juwan Murphy never turned back. Stephen Long's play on the field lasted all of a play.
First down.
That's an automatic first down and a good bailout for Western Oregon as they move the ball down the field, even by penalty, knocking even closer to that end zone as they move the ball now, what I would assume to be inside the red zone. Around the 14-yard line.
14 or 15 yards to go to get a touchdown.
Murphy on Revis again, looking to play a little bit of bump and run coverage here on the bottom of the screen. Sweet will get it. Sweet takes some long strides and then is just thwacked. Jeff Schott, 225-pound senior, just put a lick.
Schott gave him a shot on that play.
Absolutely.
Tried to run up the middle, nothing doing.
Sweet picks up 2 yards and comes off the field. I don't know if he's shaken up, but I don't think I'd want to go back in there after that. Pisano now will flank Duckworth. They'll send him in motion, bringing Revis into the backfield. Revis trying to get underneath. He does. Little pick play, and he'll walk it into the end zone. Touchdown, Wolves. 12-yard strike to Paul Revis. Woo! Revis Island, man. That guy is on his own.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion. They're running a blitz as well, and it left him wide open.
Here, everybody, it's a gift.
Duckworth sees it right away and gets a pretty easy touchdown on that play. Great drive to take the lead in this game.
Soldano with the extra point. The kick is up and it is good, and Western Oregon on top, 21-14. More second quarter action coming up on Valley 17. .636 remaining in the first half. Nick Duckworth, Paul Revis connect on a 12-yard touchdown strike, and Western Oregon now with its first lead at 21-14. Soldana to kick it away to Humboldt State. Inside the 5, Humboldt State picks it up. And the great special teams tackle. And look at the team. They are going. Trabiel Larry, that's his second open field tackle on a special teams play today.
Excellent tackle there.
I mean, I'm not going to say moral victory, Mike, but I mean, a team dropped 72 on a team they were supposed to beat last week, and you've only held them to 14 so far through a quarter and a half. I mean, it's somewhat of a moral victory.
Oh, there's plenty of moral victories this game. They've lost to them at home before. They got a giant play right at the beginning of the game, but they've got control of the game at this point, and if they can get a stop here, they can start to take advantage and run away with the game if they want to.
Gardner gets the ball up the middle, has a big hole. You can see why they want him to have the ball, because once he gets his feet moving, he is quick.
Very quick. Just run up the middle. Again, that is who they want to give the ball to. They threw the ball a few more times last drive, but this time it looks like they're going back to Gardner, at least for one play.
Picks up about 14 yards on that play, and he made it look easy. They'll go right back to Gardner, run him off the left side. He'll keep those legs moving as well. He'll pick up 6, 7 more and move the ball outside the 40-yard line. 2 quick runs.
Squeezed through the defensive end and nose and was able to get about 9 yards on that first play. Sets up a 2nd and short for this high-powered offense.
This is a chance for Robert Weber to play the play action and see if he can get something over the top, because he's already burned a couple of these defensive backs for Western Oregon today. But they'll give it right back to Gardner, and I don't blame him. Tyler Johnson gets in there, gets the initial hit, and it'll probably stop Gardner short of the first down.
Great play by Johnson on that one. Sheds a block and was able to get the tackle, and then the rest of the defense came to finish the stop.
The funny thing about Tyler Johnson, I don't know a lot about his background, but he's a guy, when his helmet's off, looks like a football player, and you'd know just by his looks that he's a linebacker, because he just likes to hit people.
Yeah, those are the guys you like to have on your team, but you don't want to mess with outside of football too. Nice guy.
They bring in not Jaquan Gardner on that play. They bring in Jabbar Bird, and that's an easy stand, as he basically has no rhythm in the game on that 3rd and short situation. And I see Weber coming off the field, and I think Humboldt State is going to kick it away.
Yeah, they did the job. Great play by the defense on that 3rd down. Gang tackling, everybody's there. Stops him for a short gain, but not enough for a first down.
Paul Revis back deep, counting his men, making sure there's 11 men on the field. He gets a proper count. 4:30 remaining here in the 2nd quarter, as Humboldt State will kick it away. Interesting delay there. I don't know if that is designed or not. Well, that is about as bizarre a downing of a football as I've seen in a long time. Nobody wanted a piece of that, and I thought it was going to hit anybody. It was going to be somebody wearing maybe gray and white, and that's not what you want either. But Western Oregon will take possession of the ball around the 16 or 17-yard line with a touchdown lead after trailing throughout most of the first half. It was a 12-yard touchdown to Paul Revis that gives us our score of 21-14. If you're just joining us on Valley 17, Michael Brown, Matt Palumbo, along with the rest of the crew here at KWVT. Duckworth being very deliberate and seems to have pretty much control of this offense right now. Offensive coordinator and coach Arn Ferguson calling a very well scripted first half. Duckworth now looking out to the outside. Revis will get it. Revis turning it upfield again. Just you never get a clean hit on him. And they might even get late hit here. Patrick Marzette, number 29, will force him out of bounds, but not before Revis gets another first down.
Yeah, I mean, they have the DB number 25. He's staying too far off of Revis, and Revis is able to get a first down each time with that.
Getting a play earlier of Murphy's defensive pass interference that led to Revis' touchdown on the previous possession. Sweet in the backfield with Duckworth. He'll get the ball off the left side. Looking for room to run. He's found the corner and the edge, turning it at the 50. It's a foot race. And he's tracked down from behind, but not before Sweet turns it upfield, goes past that and then some, and Western Oregon knocking on the door.
Yeah, fantastic play. Run that zone blocking again, and great blocking down the field. He gets the edge and is able to take advantage. Sweet with a great run on that play.
Edwin Campbell stopping the touchdown for Sweet as the ball now, what are we doing here, Mike? They're saying he stepped out of bounds here a little bit earlier than we thought. I don't like that marking, but what can we say? We don't have the benefit of replay on that side. So we'll take the ball on the 45-yard line at 1st and 10, and Western Oregon has all options available, running and throwing the football this afternoon. Sweet makes one man miss, can't make the second man miss. That play blew up before it ever started.
Same looking play as last time, running to the other side, but the defense was ready this time, and 3 men in the backfield able to stop that play for a loss, a pretty decent-sized loss of 5 yards.
Terriano Sweet will come off the field. Stephen Long coming in wearing number 7. Zach Suarez is going to be on the top of your screen, and on the bottom of your screen is going to be Paul Revis. Suarez, like we said, a couple of big touchdown strikes, one for over 60 yards. I think it was a 61-yarder last week in Western Oregon's 58-21 win. Duckworth's going to go right back over to Revis' side of the field. Kind of threw a lame-looking pass.
Yeah, this time it looked like they were going the same play to Revis on the sideline, but the defensive back this time was able to get up on him, and he had no room to just throw a quick pass out there. With that taken away, almost looks like he was throwing the ball away or just had the ball deflected.
Kenny Portera, number 5, has got a touchdown in this first half as well, checking into the game for Western Oregon.
You like calling him out. We'll see what happens with him right now.
3rd and 14. Duckworth steps up in the pocket. He's got pressure, gets the ball in the air. Underthrown, going up for it was Revis into double coverage. Murphy breaks it up for Humboldt State, and Western Oregon will be kicking the ball away now with 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Looking at the scoreboard right now in a 21-14 game, Humboldt State does have 2 timeouts remaining. So does Western Oregon. Nate Osborne kicking it away. Taking a bad bounce for Western Oregon. Humboldt State will get the ball back just under 2 minutes and trailing by a touchdown.
We've already got a glimpse of their 2-minute offense with the 5-wide and 4-wide sets they've run earlier in the game and had some success with. So now we have to see if Western Oregon's defense can make one more stand before the half, maybe get lucky and get the ball back one more time before the half as well.
Yeah, I can't really decide, in the early part of the game, Michael, if it was about the fact that the offensive players, the skill position players for Humboldt State were faster, bigger, or was it the defense that Western Oregon was playing? But they seem to have contained things quite well since the first quarter. Weber will give it to Gardner. Gardner cuts it right up the middle following his center. And the ball's out. Ball is out. It's a fumble. Looks like right now the recovery is going to be from Western Oregon. And they are giving an official sign. Western Oregon forcing its 3rd turnover. Coming up is Dominique Harrison. If that's Harrison, Harrison also has an interception and now a fumble recovery.
Yeah, and it was a great run up the middle, but getting hit from the side, he was able to cause a fumble.
Harrison was on the bottom of the pile, but it was number 44, Mr. Heiberger, with the recovery. Western Oregon does get the ball back now, Michael, and opportunity is knocking. This is now the 3rd turnover for this defense, and they've cashed in on the previous 2.
Humboldt State hasn't been able to get a sustained drive. They've scored on really big plays. Western Oregon has had some sustained drives. They have control of this game right now, and see if they can punch it in before the half to take a commanding lead at the halftime.
Ball's right at midfield, right where this thing started just a few minutes ago. Duckworth handing the ball to Sweet. Sweet taking that little delay, was waiting for one block, and I think if he got that block, he was sprung. James Benedicts, 6 foot, 235-pound junior from Mission Viejo, California.
With a possible first down saving tackle, but who knows what he could have gotten if he got past him.
Working Sweet again, a little spin move, nothing there. Clock will continue to run as we close in on a minute left in the first half.
And it looks like Benedicts was in there again. Again, you're hoping to get a first down on that very run up the middle, but takes it to 3rd down and short.
Duckworth now looking to the sideline, still a full 20 seconds remaining on the play clock. Playbook is wide open here on the 43-yard line. You can give the ball to Sweet. You can focus on Revis. You could look for Suarez over the top. Options are bountiful for Nick Duckworth this afternoon in this Western Oregon offense. And Duckworth is going to go deep, and he's looking in Revis' direction. He's wide open on the sideline. He tippy-toes himself right to about the 6-yard line. A 36-yard strike. Duckworth to Revis. First down and goal to goal for Western Oregon.
As he sits back, he knows where he's going the whole time and throws. And again, Revis has got great separation each play and is able to get a first down inside the 10. getting that 1 foot in there. Great catch by Revis.
Timeout, Humboldt State. Second charge timeout of the half.
We'll be back for the completion of the second quarter here on Valley 17. Someday they might say PR, post-Revis. But right now, living in the present with Revis, they've got a real weapon, a 36-yard strike that puts Western Oregon on the doorstep of scoring again. Sweet running off the left side. He'll take the ball near the 5-yard line.
And it's been a consistent
timeout, Western Oregon. Second charge timeout of the half.
We'll keep it here, obviously. Right now, obviously a scripted play coming out of the timeout and seeing if they can put the ball in position. But again, it's 2nd down and 10 on the 11-yard line. You've got 1 timeout, and every weapon you've wanted to use this afternoon, you've been able to use.
Yeah, and they're taking full advantage of the turnovers they're getting, the stops. The defense is important today, and the defense has been setting up the offense. Offense gets the ball, and then it's Revis time. Revis taking him all the way down the field, along with Duckworth, of course, has to get him the ball, and setting them up for another touchdown here with 30 seconds to go in the half.
I got to get into the archives on this, but at least from my recollection, I think that Western Oregon has won approximately 3 of its last home openers. They do well on this field. Student body has come back as school started this week, or it will start next week soon after here in Monmouth. A great crowd on a picture-perfect day. Again, we will thank the mayor for this Chamber of Commerce afternoon. It's 2nd down and 4, balls on the 6-yard line, 32 seconds remaining in the first half. Stephen Long in the backfield again with Nick Duckworth. Suarez is on the bottom of your screen wearing number 16. Low snap, Suarez on the fade. Suarez reaching out just outside of his reach.
Yeah, they left the receiver matched up man-to-man outside again, and they tried to run the fade pattern. Just a little bit overthrown, but a good attempt by both Duckworth and Suarez. Set up a 3rd and 4 with 28 seconds left. They could still get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
We haven't even talked about this, but I mean, if you could knock this thing in the end zone and score a touchdown, and you've deferred to the second half, you can come out and score to start the second half. You really can put some breathing room in between yourself and the 22nd ranked team. As Pisano's in motion, Duckworth hands it off to Sweet. Sweet on the left side, looking for the pylon. And the far judge says touchdown, and it is Tehrano Sweet running it into the end zone. Western Oregon on top, 27-14. Touchdown, Wolves.
Great run to the outside, great blocking, and he's able to
number
take his
20
to the outside.
For Western Oregon, helmet came off. He'll sit 1 play. Timeout on the field.
Got an injured player on the far sideline right now.
And make sure you give some credit to Revis. If he's not catching the ball, he had a great block to set up that outside for Sweet to be able to get in and score that touchdown. But when you see that play, when they look at that play tomorrow during the film time, Revis is going to get a lot of props from the rest of his teammates. That was a great block downfield.
So a Humboldt State player down on the pylon on the far side on the goal line, being attended to by medical staff and his players. Looks like he's going to get up and be able to get off the field under his own power, which is a good sign. Some sort of leg injury for Humboldt State. Looks like Eron Nash going to be off to the sideline as Soldana will be kicking the extra point and trying to give Western Oregon a 2-touchdown lead. And I don't know if we would have been saying that after the 83-yard touchdown strike that Humboldt State started this game with. Kick is up, and it is good, and Western Oregon on top, 28-14. We'll be back for the conclusion of the second quarter here on Valley 17. But it has outscored Humboldt State 28-7. From that moment forward, 3 costly turnovers for the number 22 team in the country, and Western Oregon's capitalized, now leading by 14. Soldana's kickoff gets to Humboldt State. There's going to be a late flag on the play as Humboldt State had taken it out past the 25-yard line. 18 seconds remaining here in the first half of action.
Depending on this penalty, we'll see what happens. If the ball goes back, you may see the end of the half. If the penalty's on Western Oregon, we may see a Hail Mary or a couple attempts for a field goal. A couple of plays set them up for a field goal.
No official call yet. On the receiving team, holding, number 16. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Back it up. And won't be at all surprised if Humboldt State takes a knee and says, let's get out of here. Damage has already been done.
Yeah, with one timeout, there's not much, but they do have a lot of receivers out there, so we may see them try to get into field goal range.
Ninth-year coach Rob Smith instructing trips wide receivers to the bottom of your television screen. Robert Weber from the shotgun will hand it off to Gardner, and Gardner going nowhere.
Coach gives Gardner a yard before the half. Not much happening there.
And as it slowly clicks down,
Although
3, 2, 1. No, player hurt on the field.
Delay halftime just a little bit. Hopefully he's okay.
Number 8 is the call. Michael Klug. Michael Klug is a local, and as local as they get, went to Aloha High School. Always been a fixture on that defensive line for the last 3 seasons here. Humboldt State seems to want to head towards the locker room, as half of their players have moved in that direction.
Now we have to wait and see if the refs are going to make a run one more play for a second, or if the clock will start again.
Well, Klug is just going to walk himself towards the locker room with one of the coaches. But it's good to see nobody's helping him.
Halftime.
And that'll be halftime in a very spirited first half from Western Oregon. Trailing 7-0, goes on a 28-7 torrid pace to lead 28-14 here on Valley 17. Halftime here at MacArthur Field. Matt Palumbo joined alongside Michael Brown. It's a 28-14 lead for Western Oregon as they were able to get their principal player effectively involved in this game in Paul Revis, and their quarterback Nick Duckworth having a very prolific and efficient day as the dance team now set to entertain the Western Oregon hometown crowd here today. We'll step away, then we'll come back. We'll get you set for the second half of action in this Great Northwest Athletic Conference action between Western Oregon and the number 22 Lumberjacks of Humboldt State. For Michael Brown, I'm Matt Palumbo. We'll step away here on Valley 17. Good afternoon, everyone. Matt Palumbo. This is Michael Brown. Michael Brown, welcome to television. Well, I don't think you'd be surprised that Western Oregon scored 28 points. I don't think you'd be surprised that they held their opponents to 14 points, but it's only separated by 1 total yard. Western Oregon has 257 total yards. Humboldt State's got 256. Why is there a 2-touchdown difference, Michael?
Turnovers. We have 3 turnovers in the first half by Humboldt State. It's able to keep Western Oregon actually in the lead now. What looked like it could be something that could get away from Western Oregon early with the high-powered offense of Humboldt. It wasn't. 3 turnovers allowed them to get the ball, and then Revis took over along with the quarterback.
Can't complain with Paul Revis' afternoon. He basically already had an afternoon, and we've only played one half of football. 11 catches, 121 yards for number 6. Tell me about him.
Just he's been matched up man-to-man a lot, and they're taking full advantage of it. As long as he's going to be man-to-man, they're going to keep getting the ball, and he's going to take advantage, score touchdowns.
As we prepare ourselves for the second half, Michael, Western Oregon did win the toss originally. They decided to defer. They're already up a couple touchdowns. What kind of philosophy or talk is going into, like, hey, we need to put the pedal down right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, with both teams. Humboldt came in with a game plan to score points. It hasn't worked out. Western is doing exactly what they want, and to keep it up. Just keep it up, limit the penalties, limit turnovers, and that's why they have a 14-point lead right now.
Obviously, the two-headed monster of Humboldt State and their number 22 ranking comes from their backfield. Robert Weber had a fairly efficient first half, got the 2 big plays off to John Todd, and then obviously Jaquan Gardner did his work, but again, kind of more workmanlike. But once they had those first 2 big scores, really nothing for that offense.
Nothing, and you expect a little bit more from Gardner, but he is almost at his pace. He averages 150 yards a game. He's at 75 yards at halftime. They just need to get touchdowns and get driving the ball in order to make it a closer game again. You'd expect more out of Humboldt State in the second half compared to what they've already done this first half.
Well, it's been a picture-perfect day for Western Oregon fans, alumni, and anybody joining us here at MacArthur Field today. Good gracious, you could not get a nicer fall weather day. We're going to head our action back down to the field. We'll go over some first half statistics with you as I'm going to step out of the camera. Mike, you can as well. We'll just go ahead and talk about some things that we noticed that, were kind of, very important and integral to that first half. And I think most importantly, is that Western Oregon controlled possession of the football. And if you look at Terriano Sweet's numbers, quite impressive.
Yeah, 90 yards in the first half. You hope for 100 in a game, so they're definitely taking advantage of the ground game. They're running the zone running plays often, and they're working for consistent 6, 7, 8 yards a play, and they broke a couple as well. A couple of them called back because of penalties. He'd have even more yards if it wasn't for penalties in his first half.
It's been since 4:54 in the first quarter since Humboldt State put any points on the board, and we're looking at Paul Revis right now as he will be taking this kickoff on to start the third quarter. Really very efficient offensive game for Western Oregon. They've taken their featured players and they've put them in positions to succeed time and time again. Starting tailback, Terriano Sweet. Starting wide receiver, Paul Revis, will be back around the 10-yard line, expecting this kick to start the third quarter. Big deal today, obviously, Mike, because anything with an asterisk next to it and any of our guides says this is a conference game. Western Oregon starting the season 1-2. Had some tough losses early on, but got on the winning track, scoring 58 a week ago, and now trying to get a home opener and a conference home opener to boot.
And beating a ranked team would propel the rest of the season, let them know they can't compete with every other team inside the conference.
Humboldt to kick it away, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Revis and Sweet deep. Good kick, driven deep, and Revis won't even get an opportunity, fielding it in center field. Quite well done. He'll down the ball. They'll take the ball out to the 25-yard line. Is that an NFL rule or is that an all rule now?
I believe it's just college for 25. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah. We'll find out where they mark it.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't know everything.
Wow. Some humble pie being served up in the booth today by Michael, finally admitting.
My first TV time gets me a big head, I guess. But
well, it's affectionately your nickname, Big Head. I like it. I like how you intertwined getting Big Head into the conversation.
Sneaking in there whenever I can.
Yeah, sneaky. Don't underestimate the sneakiness of Michael Brown. 3 wide receivers out to the right of Nick Duckworth. Quarterback standing tall in the pocket. He's going right to the air, looking to the left side, and they will get the ball. Best I can tell, far side of the field was Zach Suarez.
Suarez and Revis show the whole day. They're going 3 wide, and it leaves man-to-man, top of the screen.
Suarez has the fashion statement. He's got the 1 white legging on his left leg and then no leggings on the other. That's how you know who Zach Suarez is on the field. Suarez gets it again, called twice, and he gets a first down, moving the ball to the 41-yard line. Chains move for Western Oregon. A positive start to this third quarter.
Continuing what they were doing in the first half. As long as you're going to stay man-to-man and the cornerbacks aren't going to be able to jam or do anything else there, they're going to be able to go to a quick play and get 5 to 10 yards each time.
Western Oregon took full advantage of their opportunities in the first half with the 3 Humboldt State turnovers, cashing in on all 3 opportunities. Sweet gets the ball off the right side. He puts that foot down in the ground a lot, Michael, and he looks like he's always looking to push off it and get big acceleration.
Well, with those zone blocks they're doing out there, He's looking for a hole, and as he sees one open, he takes it. He's been doing a great job. The whole offensive line is getting great push today. And again, positive gains each time. That's all you could ask for.
2nd down and 5.
Maybe a touchdown too.
Sweet runs right up the middle, and he's going to take it right behind his offensive line, right into Humboldt State territory, right off the bat. 2 quick first downs for Western Oregon's offense.
Even coming out of the half, Western has Humboldt State on their heels, running right up the middle, man-to-man blocking, makes a couple men miss, and he scores. Setting them up perfectly right now. They can drop a quick run in there, but it's leaving the receivers man-to-man on the outside. It opens a lot of the offense up.
Zach Suarez will be in the bottom of your screen right around the 50-yard line. One of Nick Duckworth's favorite targets, but he'll find his other favorite, or if not favorite, Paul Revis for his 12th reception on the short side of the field for a short pickup.
Yeah, again, great protection all day. Runs a little bit of an out and comes back in, and open for a 5-yard gain. Sets up a 2nd and short.
Going to give him about 4 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball on Humboldt State's 43-yard line. Western Oregon already up 2 scores, looking to strike early here in the 3rd quarter. Stephen Long in the backfield wearing number 7. Good block by Long. Suarez will get the catch on the short side of the field, Michael. And really, that tells you how well Western's playing right now. A backup tailback making the block that gives Duckworth the time to throw the ball.
Yeah, making Duckworth throw the ball off his back foot even, and still getting a completion and a first down. You couldn't ask for anything more again.
15 of 23 in the game. 165 yards, 2 touchdowns for Duckworth today. First down and 10 on the 33. Long 7 yards deep in the backfield. They'll hand the ball off to the tailback. Long runs right off that right side, picks up where Sweet left off, and it's almost first down yardage.
I don't think they put him in there to be the power runner, but he did just run over some people. Again, run up the middle, up the gut, and able to shed a tackle and gain another couple yards after that first contact.
Edwin Campbell got a face mask to face mask meeting with Stephen Long. I think Long got the better of it. 2nd down and 3, and this is a wonderful position to have your quarterback in, Michael, right now. 2 wide receivers out to the left, Revis at the bottom of your screen, and a lot of field to play with. Revis down the seam. Duckworth looks him off. He's going to be out of the pocket. He'll throw it. And very lucky that he threw that ball out of bounds, because Revis wasn't within about 8 yards of it.
Yeah, coming out in the pistol look, they run the play action. Again, plenty of time for Duckworth. Can't find anybody open as he's running to the outside. A fairly late pass. You know, you're running, throwing on the run. It's a tough pass to make all the way to the end zone, trying to stick one in there, but fortunately he was out of bounds, and no harm, no foul.
Duckworth calling the play from the shotgun. 3rd down and 3. Needs to get the ball down to the 23-yard line for Western Oregon to move the chains. And they do just that with Pisano. Pisano running a drag pattern across from the top of your screen will catch the ball around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, just putting the quarterback in motion just for that first down yardage, and they ran a great play there to get the first down.
Whatever the script is right now that Arn Ferguson and this coaching staff have against this Humboldt State defense, they are almost calling a perfect game right now offensively. Duckworth will have 3 wide receivers. Sweet off the left side, plants that foot again, runs it back into the middle. Tackle made by Daniel Lavulo, linebacker, 235-pound junior from San Bruno, California.
Solid tackle, 5 yards down the field, though. The Western Oregon Wolves are just grinding up the ground, taking advantage of this defense right now. Great push from the offensive line. Need to give them as much credit as possible right now.
Don't often get to do that with the big uglies up front, but that's how you win football games. And Western Oregon asserting a very dominant front line today. Duckworth at 2nd and 5, needs to get the ball to the 10-yard line for a first down. Suarez gets it, turns back upfield, makes one man miss, and was reaching out for the end zone. He'll take it to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, great pass out there. Makes the man miss. And all the way down to the 1. Great job by these receivers today.
I think the story of this series over the last 3 or 4 years has been this back and forth high-scoring games, but we haven't seen something like this where one team has literally just kind of put the stops to everything. And if this extra point is good, it will be a 35-7 run since the first quarter.
Yeah, taking full control of the game at this point.
If they punch in here. Interesting wrinkle there. It's going to be a touchdown for Sweet. They had Philip Funumai actually in the backfield. It's the first time we got to see Philip in the game, but it was definitely a decoy as the ball's handed off to Sweet for the touchdown.
Yeah, just running to the left side. Offensive line, again, the big pretties. I don't know about that big ugly thing, but they're able to, again, push this whole entire, since the beginning of the first quarter, able to get a touchdown.
Not only does Paul Revis catch the ball, but he also handles the kick. Kick is good. It is 35-14. Western Oregon on top of Humboldt State. We'll be back for more third quarter action here on Valley 17. Well, Western Oregon has got a featured running back wearing number 20, Terriano Sweet, with 2 touchdowns and just under 100 yards here in the third quarter of action as Western Oregon on top 35-14. Humboldt State takes that kickoff, will move the ball out to around the 33-yard line, but they have literally been placed in neutral by this Western Oregon defense this afternoon.
Definitely. The defense has been able to hold control after those first 2 plays. The thing is that Humboldt State had 2 long plays, but again, hasn't had any sustained drives. Until they do that, it's going to be tough for them to get back in the game, unless they get lucky with some missed tackles and long plays again.
Crevichet and Todd, dual wide receivers out to the left of Weber. Gardner in the backfield, and it looks like they're going to have to go right to the air, and that's where Weber looks to go over the middle. Has a man open. It's Todd. Todd will take it out for about a 12-yard pickup. But you're going to see, I think, a much faster-paced Humboldt State team, and really not going to say the clock's not in their favor, but we're talking about 3 touchdowns, and you haven't proven that you can move the ball effectively.
That plays a good start for them, though, to get some momentum.
Gardner right up the gut. And if I can see that that's Michael Klug might have got some of the magic medicine at halftime, but somebody jammed that up.
Tyler Johnson, number 9, up the middle.
Tyler Johnson, okay.
Making another great tackle after having 7 tackles last week. Again, he's doing the same thing tonight and controlling that run game for the defense.
The good news is Michael Klug is back in the game. He had a leg injury at the end of the first half. Good to see him back on the field. Short pickup for Humboldt State. I don't think they're thinking about that number 22 ranking, but it's going to go by the wayside if they don't get any momentum here early on in this third quarter. As Western Oregon's defense has put a halt to a team that scored 72 points a week ago. Todd's going to say that he had the ball. Referee will say he was out of bounds. He does make the catch, but does not establish 1 foot in bounds. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Lumberjacks.
Had a little bit of time as the pocket began to collapse. Weber ran to the outside and tried to throw a ball to the sideline, but receiver was not able to get 2 feet in bounds. Rush play on that one. Good job by the defense again. Again, Western Oregon controlling the game right now.
Robert Weber is going to have 3 wide receivers to his right. Found the man down the seam. Just led his man a little bit too much, but Western Oregon and this defense today has stopped Humboldt State since their first 2 possessions. Revis goes back deep on a special teams, hopefully to get underneath a punt and see if he can do more damage.
Yeah, once again, another stop.
Heiberger coming off the field, number 44, a little bit gimpy. Doesn't look to be anything too serious. Revis would love some protection or a lane to run out of in here. Line drive kick at Revis. Revis, though, will take it, fields it like a shortstop, makes one man miss, does the spin move, and only gets a couple yards, but he is must-see TV when the football is in his hands.
One of those yellow flags just showed up on the field, so we'll see what that's for briefly.
Ew, yucky.
Sideline warning, Humboldt State.
Warning for what?
A sideline warning. No players supposed to be in that white area next to the sideline.
Not a malcontent, just somebody that was outside the box?
They're pushing really hard for this season and last season to make sure that the players aren't inside that area. Sideline warning's really quick. It won't happen again. There's a coach on the sideline right now tearing those players apart to make sure that they don't do it again.
Gotcha. Terriano Sweet got his second touchdown on the previous possession. 19 carries, 105 yards. 5.5 yards a carry. His 26-yard is his long run of the afternoon. Western Oregon with its worst field position in some time at the 18-yard line. Hands the ball to Sweet, and Sweet's got room off the left side. Positive gain.
2-yard gain. This time the defense was able to string it out to the sideline and gang tackle to make sure he didn't get too much of a gain there. But again, even with that 3-yard gain, it's pretty positive yardage for play stringed out like that.
Second and 8, ball on the 21-yard line. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the third quarter here on Valley 17. Western Oregon hosting Humboldt State. Sweet stopped in his tracks. He'll pick up a few yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long for Western Oregon.
Yeah, that time he was shifting as he hit the hole. There was nothing there. Able to set up the 3rd and long.
I stand corrected now that we have the stats. Terriano Sweet has 3 of the 5 touchdowns. Revis and Suarez, I believe, with the others. Should probably check our stat sheet, and then we would know. Poor Terra. Sorry, Zach Suarez, you haven't got to the end zone yet. Maybe later this afternoon. 3rd and 5 on the 23. Western Oregon looking to get the ball outside the 28-yard line to pick up a 1st down. Duckworth looking to the right, has a man over the top. Pisano was in the vicinity, so was Suarez, but an incomplete pass.
Suarez man-to-man just runs the route down the field. Ball overthrown. It was a timing route that just didn't work out. Set up the punt team now.
Duckworth 21 of 31 on the afternoon, 214 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Haven't called out Crevichet's name much, but he's back. Good kick, good hang time. He'll call for a fair catch around the 38-yard line as he was backpedaling, and Crevichet and Humboldt State will come back on offense, trailing by 21. Tyler Johnson doing his best impersonation of a one-man defense with 11 total tackles, 6 of them solo today.
He's having himself a heck of a game.
2 of them are for loss. I would think if you are Humboldt State, you might have somebody looking for number 9 at all times. Robert Weber in the shotgun, having a tough afternoon. Changing the call up here at the last minute. 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. Weber checks down, and he's got a man wide open, and it is dropped. And I mean, they must have seen something in there.
Well, it looked like they took a wheel route.
Gardner came out of the backfield on a wheel route.
It was a wheel route from Gardner and left him wide open. Unfortunately, he was not able to make that play. You got to make that play if you want to get back in the game for Humboldt State.
Big play threat so far today John Todd, 3 receptions, 133 yards for 2 touchdowns. They say it was a 90-yarder earlier in the game. I thought it was around 83, but averaging 44 yards a catch. Might want to find the football into number 4's hands. A little bit of a broken play, and Weber going to go up top. And now I would say that's going to be a defensive pass interference. Dominique Harrison tackling his defender.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 2. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, I don't think he sold the incidental contact there very well.
No.
But he was beaten, so instead of giving up the touchdown or the possibility of a touchdown, just play another play, but plus 15 yards.
That'll move the ball to midfield for Humboldt State. Now going almost 2 full quarters without a score. Has to be odd for a team that put up 72 a week ago against Simon Fraser. They kick the ball out to Gardner. Gardner gets the seal. He turns it upfield. And the big play, running back will run it to the middle. That is a 50-yard touchdown. And that was the Jaquan Gardner show.
Yeah, that was a great run. That was very much him. He had the pitch to the outside. Receiver set up the block on the outside, and then it's all Gardner just weaving in and out. While it was 50 yards, he might have just ran 100 yards around the field to get to the end zone.
Well, as I say, that it's been 2 quarters since they scored. Jaquan Gardner and Humboldt State get back on the board and try to close it within 2 scores on this extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Western Oregon still on top, 35-21. 5 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter on Valley 17. Western Oregon came out and had a chance early on in this second half to put points on the board. They did just that. And then on a very short field, Humboldt State comes back quickly with Jaquan Gardner for the touchdown. Revis running on the left side on that kickoff, trying to get the ball out near the 20-yard line. Western Oregon had kind of basically played almost perfect to that point. Got a little bit lazy and complacent with their fundamentals on defense as Jaquan Gardner went this way and that way, and he zigged and he zagged all his way 50 yards for the touchdown, giving us our score of 35-21. Nick Duckworth and the Western Oregon offense coming out with Stephen Long in the backfield, Paul Revis, Keani Pisano, and Zach Suarez in the skill positions for Western Oregon. Revis been giving quite the cushion once again. Duckworth probably notices it already. Long gets it. Little bit of a stutter step, and Long will fall forward for positive yards.
Yeah, made the first man miss and was able to get 5-yard gain on that play.
Well, frankly, if we look at the series history, Michael, I would suggest it's a race to 40. Whoever gets to 40 first will win this game.
Over the last few years, they've been going back and forth with these games. It seems like a fair, well, maybe even 50 today. So
could be 50. Could be 50. Duckworth off his back foot. He finds Revis. Revis on that little, great open field tackle. Well done. Ryan McKenzie just absolutely treated Paul Revis like a pinball.
And Paul Revis right now would be thinking, that's a first down now.
Yeah, and he'll probably remind him of that. Great hit, but hey, man, I got the first down.
Yeah, they run their crossing pattern with Revis, finding any way to get him the ball, and he takes advantage and gets a first down.
That'll move the ball out to the 36-yard line. Tighter coverage being shown by Humboldt State. Sweet gets the ball, and that's kind of the first time he's had a sloppy run all afternoon.
Yeah, he was just trying to get to the outside and nothing happened. He does need to be careful, though, on that play. He's trying to make some moves, but he's holding the ball out a little bit, and that can cause a turnover down the way, so you want to be careful of that.
Plenty of time left on the play clock. Duckworth looking to the sideline. Clock now under 4 minutes. Western Oregon leading by 14. Late in the third quarter here from MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. Duckworth, though, finds his bailout, and it was going to be sweet. And he will look at the tape tomorrow, and he will see Pisano all the way down the field. And if he would have been able to hold that ball for about a half second longer, he would have had an easy touchdown score.
Well, Seppa had a great push up the middle, and he had to get rid of that ball very quickly. And didn't get a sack, Duckworth, so no harm, no foul, but we're going to go 3rd and long.
Finally, some internal pressure being shown by Lumberjack defense. Number 54, Seppa, can't miss that big head of hair. The nose tackle calling out the play for the defensive line. Duckworth floats one up in the air. And again, Pisano is going to beg for the flag, and I don't think he's going to get it. Connor Cox, that's a tough call for any linebacker to go out and get a receiver like that, but there's no infraction there.
Yeah, they've been running the same play, just a pass to the outside towards the sideline, but the defender was able to, Cox was able to kind of seal the outside there and not let the receiver get back to the ball. It was a clean play. It was good defense. Set up the punt team for Western Oregon.
Crevichet parked on his 30-yard line. And it's a bad, just a straight block.
Yeah, it was a block. They had to push up the middle, and the punter held onto the ball a little bit longer than he probably should have.
Jabbar Bird coming out with it.
But it was a clean block, and no advancement from there, but still sets up Humboldt State with excellent field position and the momentum right now after the last drive's touchdown.
Like I said, get your track shoes on. Here we go. Excellent field position now for the number 22 ranked Lumberjacks. And we already know that they are prolific and efficient at scoring the football. This is a team coming in that averaged well over 50 points in its first 2 games. Robert Weber calling plays from the shotgun. He'll get the ball out into the flat. And all of a sudden, Western Oregon seems averse to the idea of tackling.
Well, if we're comparing to the first half, I think their goal is to set them up with some big plays early and then take over from there. But great play on the outside, just that quick screen, and the receiver's able to take it down 10 yards, make a man miss.
William Maffey will get first down yardage. It'll move the ball to around just inside the 10. First down and goal to bring up second down. Ball being placed on the 6-yard line.
Gardner with the carry again, just a short gain. The Wolves defenders not really giving up any room on that play.
Tyler Wharf checking in, number 33 on the defensive side of the ball for Western Oregon. Jaquan Gardner in the backfield along with Robert Weber. They send Gardner out into the flat, and he's got all the room he wants, and he'll go right into the end zone. That's 2 touchdowns inside of a few minutes for Jaquan Gardner. And with this extra point, the Lumberjacks can pull within a score.
Yeah, throwing the ball to the flats to Gardner. The only person there to make the stop is Ryan McKenzie, but Gardner had a full head of steam. It's tough for McKenzie to make the block on that, or excuse me, the tackle on that one. Touchdown, Humboldt State.
Well, if we wondered if there was a backbone or a heart to this Humboldt State team, we just found out in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the score now, 35-28, Western Oregon on top of Humboldt State. We'll be back for more third quarter action here on Valley 17. Well, I wouldn't go to sleep or take a nap on this game quite yet. It was 35-14 at about the 6-minute mark, and then Humboldt State has cashed in quickly 2 times in a row. Western Oregon taking it out of its own end zone. Maybe a very interesting play for Terriano Sweet to take that ball out. I might have taken the knee there, but Western Oregon will get the ball near the 20-yard line. I need to get this offense back on track, Michael Brown.
Yeah, he's trying to make a play there, and at least gets it back to the 20, but may have been a better idea just to, 15-yard line. So, yeah, he may have been better to stay in the end zone there. Momentum's on Humboldt's side right now, and so Western Oregon offense and Duckworth need to get something going right now to take control of this game again.
Vicious little thing momentum can be right now. Western Oregon went on a 35-7 run. Now it's a 14-0 run. That feels like we're watching an NBA game. Whoever has the ball last probably going to win this game. Suarez on the quick slant. And that'll give some breathing room to this Western Oregon offense, and they need it right now.
Yeah, Duckworth's having a good time with his receivers today. Just shows that quick slant, and Suarez able to take it up the field and get a nice gain on that play.
Placing the ball on the 30-yard line. The clock continues to roll, near 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And what's been a very high-scoring game once again between these two opponents from the GNAC Conference. Revis almost got that ball in the crease, Michael, and I think had he caught that ball cleanly, he would have been able to do quite a bit with it.
Yeah, again, they're running the same basic play as a slant to the outside, and Revis thought he was going to be able to do something with it. But Ryan McKenzie, who has gotten beat quite a few times tonight, able to make a great play. With the adjustments in the second half, McKenzie came out ready to play right now and made that stop.
I'm going to go Truman Show on you. We're going to cue the moon. What part of it says night out there? Look at the sunshine.
Oh. Did I say night?
I love you, man. Nick Duckworth.
I guess I'm ahead of myself on the time change.
Yeah, exactly. Stephen Long caught in the backfield. Nice play made by Lumberjack defensive players.
Yeah, just wide open up the middle, able to make the tackle in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Again, the Humboldt State momentum taking advantage of everything right now.
That's 3rd and 12, ball on the 29-yard line. This is a place where you need to be careful.
Especially with the turnovers they've had today. And the places
Western Oregon so far has taken care of the ball beautifully, but you don't need to force anything here, leading by a touchdown. Revis catches the ball, roughly about 2 yards short. If he gets a favorable spot,
yeah,
Western Oregon.
Getting plenty of time for Duckworth. There hasn't been any issue today. Sees the man that he wants. But coming back for the ball, he may have missed out on that first down there, leaving a 4th and short.
Nate Osborne having to kick the ball away again. Trouble on the last interaction for punting. Better kick this time. Crevichet runs underneath it, and he is met immediately. Yeah, big surprise. Tyler Johnson on the tackle.
It's like the water boy out there just tackling everybody everywhere.
Bobby Boucher wore number 9.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this. I see how your mind works.
But it's a great tackle, and this time they gave the punter some time to get a good boot, and he got a great one off. So
10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Western Oregon trying to get their season rolling. 1-2 on the season, coming off a big win a week ago, trying to get a home opening win, leading 35-28 against the number 22 Lumberjacks of Humboldt State. Weber from the shotgun, going deep on first down. His man has got separation, and it is a beautiful catch by guess who? John Todd.
John Todd, the deep man of the day, and
he's spent. He's going straight to the sideline. He needs to get a breather.
The quarterback gives it everything he has, and Todd catches it on the sideline.
It's end of the third quarter.
We'll be back for the exciting conclusion of this game on Valley 17. Humboldt State knocking on the door themselves as we start the fourth quarter, trailing by 7. It's 35-28 in what was a very fast third quarter. Very evenly matched team so far. Robert Weber changing up the play. Plenty of time on the play clock. Communicating to his receivers. Gardner was in the backfield, but Weber going right over the middle. Dangerous pass there.
Yeah, he had time, went to the receiver over the middle, but the safety was able to knock the ball down and leaves it at 2nd and 10.
Weber definitely shows quite a bit of promise with arm strength. He's obviously gotten the ball downfield multiple times, but when he's throwing some of those timing plays, he definitely has the ability to fit the ball into very small seams. Right there, great pressure from Western Oregon.
Yeah, they set him up. You'd expect Gardner time there, but they went with the play action.
Wow.
Play action pass, nothing there. Sees somebody on the sideline, but the great pressure on the defensive line to cause a bad pass. And now comes a big 3rd down.
3rd and 10 on the 34-yard line. Western Oregon looking to establish some defensive presence here as they were torched late in that third quarter. Weber goes to Gardner, and Gardner has plenty of room to run, and he will easily pick up the first down. That's the first time they've shown the wrinkle of Gardner as a receiver.
Yeah, he's been blocking the whole time, and this time they just let him slip out, and nobody covered him on that play, and he was able to get a first down. Important first down for Humboldt State on this drive right now.
Ball placed on the 23-yard line. Gardner getting the reward of a quick handoff after that reception for a first down. Not much going there.
Michael Klug and Blaine Burnett there to make the stop along with the rest of the linebackers, Heiberger and Johnson.
Blaine Burnett has gotten off the edge, number 94, a couple times for Western Oregon, maybe to give Weber some pressure. But right now, the Lumberjacks looking to tie this football game up early in the fourth quarter. Weber's got time again. Checks all the way down to Todd. Todd takes the ball down to around the 15-yard line. Robert Weber showing a lot of basically poise in the pocket right now.
Plenty of time. The tackle made a great block there. Sees his man open. It wasn't his first read. It might have been his second or third read, but he finds Todd, and Todd's having a heck of a game, able to get 7 yards on that play.
Western Oregon, a lot of success on third down early on in this game, has not had it lately, and they're paying the price for it right now.
Timeout, Western Oregon.
Western Oregon takes its first charge timeout. We'll step away for a short break here on Valley 17. Fairly large 3rd down and 2 coming up for the Western Oregon defense as the Lumberjacks are trying to pummel their way into Western Oregon territory. Gardner on the first carry and first push easily gets the yardage needed for the Lumberjacks, and they'll have a fresh set of downs.
Almost a problem with the exchange. Weber slipped as he handed the ball off, but it was a clean handoff, and they were able to get a first down.
Lumberjacks cleaning it up here in the second half. Haven't turned the ball over. 3 turnovers. It was 2 interceptions and a fumble in the first half that led to Western Oregon's 28 points that they were able to score in the first half. Right now, Robert Weber getting in his groove. Gardner in the backfield with him. Todd at the bottom of your screen. Crevichet at the top. Gardner actually not in the game at that moment. Substitution. Jabbar Bird.
Bird was able to run the sweep here. Some great blocks out front, including Josh Hansen, the guard, and get some about 3-yard gain.
Some of the players on Western Oregon looking a little bit tired right now. Been beat up pretty thoroughly here from the third quarter on Weber, though. Has a man over the top. Looks like Crevichet in the back of the end zone, and it looks like a touchdown. Crevichet, for being small, makes up for it in stature by his ability to basically contort his body for this touchdown.
They did a play-action pass off that last same play. This time it let Crevichet get back, and he leaped up to make that catch open in the back of the end zone.
The back and forth continues.
Well, they set it up on the last play. They ran the exact same motion, and it had the defensive backs thinking that they were going to run the same play again, but it left the wide receiver open.
Well, what looked like a one-sided affair at 35-14 halfway through the third quarter is now a tie football game, 35 apiece. We've got more fourth quarter action coming up here on Valley 17. Minutes, 13 seconds remaining from MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. Matthew Vincente Palumbo, joined by Michael Eugene Brown II, KWVT, and everybody watching on Channel 17 or Comcast Channel 318. We thank you for joining us in what's turned out to be a very fun football game at 35 apiece. Sweet's going to take it from his end zone. Sweet's got a little bit of room, trying to get away from anybody wearing a white shirt, but he'll take it outside the 25-yard line. And Western Oregon in this offense is going to have to reestablish itself late in this game.
Duckworth has been playing well all game. The receivers have been playing well all game. Suarez, they're going to be fine. They just need to get some momentum going.
Could find that in the form of Toronto Sweet. Could find that in Stephen Long, potentially. Just trying to take a little bit of pressure off of them and Nick Duckworth. But, again, kind of it's been a harbinger of things to come. Revis seems to be the person with 14 catches. He had 11 in the first half. He's only seen the ball 3 times. Look for Revis to be targeted on this series of downs. Duckworth now looking right, staying right. Revis was wide open, but not 8 feet tall.
Yeah, that one he just missed.
And I think, again, Revis, with where that ball, if you would just let him a little bit, Revis had plenty of room to work with after that.
They're setting up a couple of long routes down the field, but it opened him up underneath. But just a poor throw on that play.
Duckworth will have Stephen Long in the backfield with him right now. Long gets it on the left side, trying to find a lane to run to, cuts back, and Stephen Long keeps the play alive, and that was probably very smart that he did. It was going to be a tackle for a loss. Instead, number 7 finds a way to get yards for Western Oregon.
Yeah, going towards the sideline, sees nothing. Great block, and everybody's holding their blocks, and he tries to cut back and hoping to find a seam to get through, but does gain 5 yards.
Ball on the 30-yard line. Western Oregon at 30. Player down for Humboldt State in the middle of the field. It's going to be an injury. Let's take a look here. Number 5, getting up under his own strength. That's always a good sign to see anytime somebody does that. Thaddeus Filia. He's going to go off on the sideline, have to take a play off. Good to see him walking under his own power. Long stays in the game at 3rd and 5. 11:40 remaining in, dare I say, regulation.
We shall see.
We shall see. Duckworth, gets the key. Might have used his cadence there to draw the defense offside. Not sure. Trying to do a good old-fashioned, what we like to call Aaron Rodgers. See if I can get a free play.
I don't think the center snapped the ball.
Ooh, you think he gave him the fake out?
But the players seem to be motioning that it's Humboldt State that's going to get called for this penalty, so.
I would just point at them. Make it a finger pointing contest. See who wins.
Whoever points the hardest gets the penalty, right?
Well, Stephen Long is giving the clap of appreciation, which suggests that
Offsides defense, number 7. The result of the yardage will be a first down.
you take them how you can get them.
Interesting.
Offsides penalty on Humboldt State in the defense. Fresh set of downs for Western Oregon. Looking for any sort of momentum here. As midway through the third quarter and on, Humboldt State has asserted its presence as a top-tier team. Bad snap. Duckworth's going to have to just fall on it. They started the game this way, and it's not the way that you want to end it. You get a break like that, you need a good transaction there, so you have the timing. Receivers are going to get open. They've been open all day, and the fundamental thing is what you don't get done.
Yeah, you got to catch that ball to get the play going.
Duckworth's taken a couple out of the ground today. I have to admit, sometimes, over the course of the game, you're going to have to do that. But right there, wonderful opportunity for the team to strike after getting the defensive penalty, awarding the first down to Western Oregon. They lose 5 on the play. They give it right back. It'll be 2nd and 15. Duckworth forced to his right. He might actually take this himself, but no, he'll end up throwing the ball. Flag on the backside. Suarez with the catch near the first down marker.
Yeah, that was a good pass. He doesn't see anything available, but the whole right side is open, and as he's deciding if he wants to run, he sees his receiver come open, and Suarez throws a bullet to Suarez, who catches the ball, which should be first down. We'll see what happens with the flags on the field.
Holding. Defense, number 25. The penalty is declined. Result of the play. First down.
Mr. Ryan McKenzie, we've called his name good and bad today.
Yeah,
I think unfortunately had the bad mostly.
I mean, but they're going at him a lot. They're going at him a lot, and they must see some sort of matchup that they want to go to, and it's worked a lot tonight. But still, that's a great pass to even get it down to Suarez there to get that first down.
Humboldt State territory. Sweet tries to take it up the middle and see if he can find a crease. Stephen Long, I apologize.
Just a quick 3-yard play up the middle there. Run, pass, try to get the control of this game if you can at this point. Hold on the ball maybe for a good 4 or 5 more minutes and score a touchdown. Put you in really good shape for the rest of the game.
You would take a sustained drive right now, no question about it. Defense a little bit in trouble here in the second half for Western Oregon. Duckworth now calling out the play from the shotgun. Looks right, comes back left, going over the top, trying to get it to Revis. Oh, it wasn't to Revis. Suarez picks the ball up, and he'll take the ball down to the 15-yard line. That is a 33-yard pickup and the most positive offensive play for Western Oregon here in the second half.
Yeah, it looks like they blitzed. They blitzed up the middle, and they had Suarez open up the middle, and he lofted that one up to him. That was a good pass by Duckworth. He knew exactly where he wanted to go after he saw that opening.
Suarez now at the bottom of our screen. Actually, it's not Suarez. Long catches it, almost misses it, and then just gets his bell rung. Whew.
Made one man miss, but that was tough when they're coming out of
Jonathan Lopez actually was at the bottom of your screen wearing number 10. Probably bringing him in because he's 6'2". Maybe they're looking at a fade pattern going up against defensive back Marlon Dobbins. Dobbins only 5'10". Maybe they're trying to exploit an advantage there. Sweet is in the backfield, 2nd down and 9. Ball on the 14-yard line. Inside the 5-yard line would get Western Oregon first down, goal to goal. Sweet almost kind of stopped in his tracks by his own player. Hudson Kennedy looked like to be kind of in the way of impeded the progress that Sweet wanted to make. He only picks up a yard on the play.
Daniel Lavulo on Humboldt State just shed his block quickly, and the running back had nowhere to go. Sweet tackled for after a 2-yard gain.
Revis now on the top of your screen. McKenzie showing tight coverage. Suarez now comes in motion to the right side. Everything flowing. Bad snap. Duckworth gets it. He goes to the air. A little bit of a pick play. And Suarez will pick up the touchdown for the Wolves. They use Paul Revis as a decoy.
Low snap and a great job by Duckworth to get composure to throw that pass. And Suarez saw it coming, lined it up, and caught that ball in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Western Oregon takes the lead.
Marlon Dobbins could do nothing with Zach Suarez. Now 3 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, becoming a favorite target of Nick Duckworth. Soldana's kick is up, and it is good. Western Oregon on top by a touchdown, 42-35. More exciting action coming up next on Valley 17. Welcome back to MacArthur Field in Monmouth, Oregon. I think one of the measures of a good team is what happens when you get hit in the mouth. And I think Western Oregon's taken a couple of brutal hits today from this Humboldt State team, and they have responded in kind by coming back each and every time Humboldt State has landed that big punch, Mike.
That's what winners do. If you want to win the game, you take those punches, you get back up, your group, and you score yourself, and that's what they've done all day.
I mean, I think it's really a good sign for the entire season because, I mean, inside of a game like this with the ebb and flow, the back and forth, you could lose your composure or you could lose that sense of the edge. And they seem to, from basically the second touchdown on, have been fully engaged in trying to win a football game. And they're sick and tired of this team coming into their home field and winning here.
And now it's the defense turn to turn it up and try to get control of the game again.
Gardner gets it to the left side, and there are pancake blocks all over the field. That's the most physical I've seen Humboldt State play at all in this game. I mean, I'm not saying they've been finessed by any stretch of the imagination, Michael, but they absolutely proved a point on that opening play right there.
Yeah, Richard Doctor, the receiver out there, cut the man he was on, which opened it up to be able to get that gain, set up the corner there.
That's 7 yards for Gardner. It'll be second and short for Humboldt State. They'll give it right back. And clogging up the middle. Very well done by Western Oregon's defensive line. It'll bring up third and a very short 1 yard.
Yeah, running that read option, and again,
Michael scurries for names and numbers. We'll get you ready. It's on the 34-yard line. Humboldt State trailing by a touchdown, 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Can't find that fine young gentleman's name to give him some credit for that great play.
Weber over the top. Woo! Did he maintain control? They're going to say that's an interception. If we can get a replay of this, that's as good as you're going to see.
Weber looking back, sees somebody at the sideline, throwing off his back foot, which is a mistake, but way overthrown.
Is that Tyler Johnson?
And Johnson, who's been there all day, reaching up, making the one-handed grab and getting 2 feet down before the sideline. That's an NFL interception.
Wrap it up, put it in a bow. We know who the defensive player of the week's going to be in this conference. I won't get...
Interception. First down, Western Oregon.
Western Oregon now 4 turnovers caused today, 3 interceptions coming the way of Weber, 1 fumble recovery. Western Oregon now leading by a touchdown and another chance to extend their lead.
And with 6 minutes left, 6.5 minutes left in the game, they can take full control of this game if they get a sustained drive and score a touchdown here.
Revis at the bottom of your screen, chomping at the bit to go one-on-one, looking for some safety help over the top. Revis wants to streak right down the sideline right now and try to hammer this game home. Long will get it off the left side. They spread him out, and Long does a great job picking up 4 yards, falling forward, and keeping that clock moving.
Yeah, they've been trying to set up the run this second half. And again, 5 yards a pop. That's the end of the game.
Stephen Long being used as an integral figure in this offense in the second half. This Toronto Sweet even has 3 touchdowns, but it hasn't been as effective in the second half. Long comes in and gives his teammate a spell, picking up 5 yards on first down. Sweet back in the backfield. Duckworth taking his time. He'll hand it off to Sweet. Sweet will go up the middle. Woof. And Sefu is there again. I mean, every time he hits somebody, you know it.
He's the man in the middle who's been controlling it. That's why the running game hasn't been great at all times today. But set up for a 3rd and 5 here. Very important 3rd down late in this game.
Under 5.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. First conference game for Western Oregon and their home opener today here on September the 23rd. A beautifully radiant afternoon. And here we go. We're going to throw every piece of laundry we have on the field.
They have to make sure all the players understand that there's a penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Bryson Disson. That is not what you need right there. That'll bring up 3rd and 10, ball on the 45-yard line. Duckworth has had himself quite the afternoon. Going to have to come up with something big here. 28 of 42. Completing 2 out of every 3 passes. 317 yards and 3 touchdowns. Right now needs to move the ball 10 yards. And it's going to be a timeout called by Western Oregon as they look to regroup. We'll be back after these messages on Valley 17. Pivotal moment in the game. Western Oregon 3rd down and 10 on Humboldt State's 45-yard line. At first down will go a long way. Low snap again, but Duckworth takes it. Going to go over the top looking for Revis. Revis almost comes up with the one-handed catch. Wow. Man, if he can get a paw on it, he will get it up. Dobbins, they're picking on Dobbins again.
You just wonder if the timing's thrown off with these low snaps. But Duckworth does get the ball off even under a little bit of pressure. And it was placed about the only place he can throw it to the receiver, but Revis wasn't able to come up with that one-handed grab, even though he did make a great attempt at it.
Nate Osborne going to have to kick the ball away again, and they are going to put a ton of pressure now on Western Oregon's defense. Crevichet will call for the fair catch at the 20-yard line, but Western Oregon, I mean, I don't know if it's a ton of pressure. They've caused 4 turnovers today or been the beneficiary of some poor play at times from Humboldt State's offense, but right now, the Lumberjacks and that number 22 ranking are all on the line with 4 minutes and 43 seconds, and they have all 3 of their timeouts.
It's not as if they don't have any confidence to score. They know they can. It's just, are you going to call the right plays on this drive?
Gardner is in the backfield, but look for John Todd on the bottom of your screen. Dominique Harrison called for the one-on-one. Pass underneath. Interesting play call. Very interesting play call.
It's a wide receiver screen. The tackle was out in the flat to try to make a tackle. And Andrew Weber, just right man on the spot, able to make that tackle for a very short gain.
Minuscule.
It's a fantastic read on Johnson's part to see that screen coming his way and not let the tackle get a hold of him.
We know Weber can get the ball down the field. That's where he's done his damage today, and that's looking where he's trying to go. Wow, fits it into a seam right there. Trying to jump the route was the defensive back, Michael.
He tried to jump the routes, but didn't. It was a very, very good pass right on the money and able to give them a first down.
William Maffey picking up his 2nd reception.
Yeah, he tried. It was a great job by the DB, but ball was placed right where it needed to be.
Clock still moving, under 4 minutes. Gardner now on the right side being strung out, and Western Oregon keeping him in the field of play. Good news for Western Oregon there. Short gain on the play.
Klug on that tackle, able to hold up the outside there, so it was a short gain of 2 yards.
Second down and 8 ball on the 35-yard line. This unblemished team from Humboldt State now trailing by a touchdown. 42-35. Weber now flushed out of the pocket. Big pressure coming in, and he'll be taken down. 3 Western Oregon players there and a late flag, and I don't know if it's going to be for a face mask or not, Michael Brown.
I couldn't see a face mask. I'm hoping it's what that ref may have seen on that point. But great job by both defensive ends to collapse the pocket and get a sack in the backfield.
I can't see that penalty being on Western Oregon.
I didn't see it, but
I don't like the way
Humboldt players are walking forward.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 41. Being forced from the previous spot, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
And Casey Gates was trying to make a play there, but
was it a horse collar or was it a face mask?
I think it may have been on the other side of the field where the ref that threw was on the opposite side of us, and so he saw something that we may not have been able to see.
All right.
But on a great play by the defense, it gets turned around by the penalty, and now it sets up Humboldt State with a first down.
Right at midfield, no timeouts taken either. Gardner getting the ball up the middle. Gardner runs it forward for 5 yards.
It looks as if they're ready to take this down right to the end. They don't want Western Oregon to necessarily get the ball back and be able to have a lot of time on the clock in case they score here shortly.
Trips wide receivers out to Weber's left. They'll give the ball right back to Gardner. And I don't know if look, he's going to pick up the first down, but at some point
2.5 minutes is enough time.
All right.
With the stoppage with the first down, you can keep running the ball as long as you're getting first downs, as long as you're getting 7 or 8 yards a pop, and still go to your man that you want to again, they don't want to get Western Oregon time if they do score for Western Oregon to go down and score afterwards. So they'll try to use up all the clock they can until they score.
Spoken by the man that actually played football, so I will definitely yield to the man's opinion. Weber looking to the right side finds Todd. Todd will be tackled in play by Dominique Harrison. It
may have been from football, but it may have been just the years of playing video games as well that you learn really good clock management as well. So
I'm sure Chip Kelly's employed such tactics while he was at the University of Oregon and the Eagles and 49ers.
Where's he now, though?
ESPN, I think. Under 2 minutes, all 3 timeouts still with the Lumberjacks, and they are moving the ball down the field easily. Todd over the middle. Todd gets a block. Todd, no one there. And again, Western Oregon, when it comes to tackling, has had trouble all day long, especially with John Todd. That's 3 big-time touchdowns now. That's a 34-yarder to go with a 90-plus yard, or a 90-yarder, and a 20-yarder.
Yeah, excuse me. That was crazy. John Todd just running and not having anybody jump up and make a tackle. They had a chance to put the game away at this point, but now it's going to leave it up to Western Oregon to score on the opposite side.
Extra point, a big thing here right now.
Oh, most definitely.
Low snap, kick is up, and the signal is good, and we are knotted at 42. We'll be back for the exciting conclusion of this game on Valley 17. What an exciting game of football that we have witnessed today here on Valley 17. KWVT and Comcast Channel 318. Revis now underneath it at the 5-yard line, looking to get to the middle of the field. Uses the sideline sort of as a defender, but he'll move the ball out past the 30-yard line. And the shifty one, known as Paul Revis, will take the ball out maybe towards the 35, Michael Brown. It will be 1 timeout, and looking to get the ball somewhere probably inside the 25-yard line to give yourself a reasonable chance to maybe kick and win this game in regulation.
Yeah, I didn't know that either of these teams knew about the field goal game, but they may have to rely on it at this point. You don't want to leave it up to the kicker if you don't have to.
Well, Soldana is the player of the week.
The offenses have been doing great today, though, so if they may be able to score here, but we'll see what happens.
32-yard line to be exact. Nick Duckworth going to work. Screen set up for Stephen Long. Long almost able to get away, but they're actually going to tackle him for a short loss. It's amazing for how small he is. They definitely take into account that he's on the field.
Most definitely, and as they run that screen, James Benedict's the middle linebacker from Humboldt State, read it the whole time, was able to make a tackle in the backfield.
This is going to get interesting right now as I see that Ferguson, lets the clock run. Obviously he's got his offense out there. He knows what they can do. I'm going to be interested if they don't get much yardage here, what Humboldt State will do. Suarez comes back to it, picks up a big first down, makes a man miss, changes his arms. What a nice play. And I don't think it was Suarez, was it? Blaze Manabe. Let's make sure. I got 13.
Well, he sits back.
Yeah, Blaze Manabe.
Yeah, Manabe just moves back and forth.
Timeout, Humboldt State. First charge timeout of the half.
Switch the ball to the other hand at the end there as he got to the other sideline, hoping to make another play.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
We'll keep the action here. I'll tell you, the great thing about Western Oregon, it's always been this way, at least since I've been calling football games here.
Please reset the game clock to 56 seconds.
They seem to have a bevy.
Thank you.
Of basically little slot receivers that they can put in anywhere, and they seem to love, they're fierce about getting the football, and then once they get it, they love to get the yards after catch.
Oh yeah, and they're doing a great job. Revis, Suarez, the young man that just caught the ball was Manabe. Just great job by all those guys. And the great thing about these small receivers is they're shifty, they're quick, they're agile, and so if you give them some time, give them some space, they're able to make some moves and get a 25-yard gain like they just did, or longer.
Ball on the 37-yard line now, having that timeout under a minute. Western Oregon with a chance to really put a cap on this game. Duckworth now out into the flat. Man is wide open. A great pattern right there by Piceno. It's one of the things that gets underrated. In a time like this in a game, Mike, you'd think that you'd be tired, and a great route run by the receiver.
Offensive line protects amazingly there. Gives us some time. Catches the ball, and again, just trying to make some moves there, gets a first down and second down, and short, and it sets the team up in great position.
Great position right now for Clock is running 22, and that is a false start. That's ugly, but it happens.
It does happen. It's not the time you want it to happen, though.
Especially with the ball on the 28-yard line. You were setting up for a 45-yarder if you don't get another yard.
Correct.
So, and I don't really know what Soldana's range is, but I would assume on a day with docile wind that, he'd get a good leg on it and have an opportunity. 23 seconds. Clock will get rolling right after this, Mike.
Well, the refs are talking about it, so is it possible that one of the defensive linemen made the James Vane
encroachment?
We'll see. It's a big call.
They're pondering. Okay.
Or did a player get hurt?
Are they saying a helmet came off?
Okay.
False start, offense. Be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. Timeout, Western Oregon.
We'll step away for a break and to see how this game concludes with 23 seconds remaining in regulation on Valley 17. Well, I'm glad for the slight glitch there, because that was about as ugly a thing as you're ever going to see.
You see the low snap, but the Duckworth is able to get the ball off.
5 seconds to down. It's going to be third down. Okay, this is going to be interesting, Mike. You gonna yard this guy out for a 50-yarder, or are you going to take a shot at the end zone?
That's longer than a 50-yard.
That's Soldana. Is it 33, right? Is it 33? So tack 17.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Just tack 17.
No, I don't think they fixed the clock up there yet. I think they're on the 36.
Adrian Soldana is going to be worth his weight in gold here in a moment. So that ball, if I'm looking at it right, 36. Are we looking at 53?
Yeah, 53-yarder.
Ooh. This would be, I'll talk about a walk-off.
Well, he was the player of the week last week. You know he's good. Let's see if he can make this.
Nothing against this. I mean,
we'll expect a timeout from Humboldt State here shortly.
You're looking for the ice.
It's always the ice.
There's the ice. Oh no,
That's a false start on the offensive line.
You're kidding. He's not going to be kicking it from 58.
False start, offense with a 10-second runoff. That'll be the end of the game.
Well, we are headed to what they call overtime, if that's correct. But apparently we are not done quite yet.
We shall see what happens. They're going to say that with the 10-second runoff. That's why they had to take the last time out to make sure they get the 10-second runoff.
There'll be no 10-second runoff because the clock was stopped. Please put 4 seconds on the clock. It'll start on the snap.
So here's what I think, Michael.
Well, the other thing right now is
I'm going to make a call right now.
They didn't send him back yet.
It's a 58-yarder where he's kicking that from. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling a fake.
A fake, huh?
Yep.
Well, there is a returner back for Humboldt State.
I'm calling a fake.
It's short.
He can run that ball out, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
Oh boy, here we go. I kept my mouth shut because I was holding my breath too, Michael. I didn't want to see what I would have considered to be like a modern day tragedy.
Some more laundry. This is probably going to overtime. I don't think there's going to be any more play after this. I think it was a hold on that return.
Well, regulation or 60 minutes looks like it's not going to be enough time.
The return team, illegal block in the back, the penalties decline, the game is over. We'll go to overtime.
Well, the referee wanted to signal it is over, but I think there's this little thing called overtime that we're going to get to play here in Monmouth, Oregon. What a home opener.
I don't know if he's been reffing for a long time. He might have gone back to the 90s rules of overtime. Yep. Thought the game ended in a tie, but yeah.
We'll step away for a quick break. We'll get you all set up for overtime coming up here on Valley 17. Well, if you were really excited about Michael Brown's debut as a color commentator, you're going to get a few more minutes of him. We've got overtime between Western Oregon University and the Humboldt State Lumberjacks. In a game that started off at zeros, we might as well be there again. 42-all at the end of regulation. Western Oregon at one time up 35-14 as we're getting handed stats as we speak heading into this overtime. Michael Brown, I don't think you could ask for a much more entertaining football game.
Most definitely. It's been pretty solid the whole time. That last drive by Western Oregon, they definitely fell apart on with some costly penalties. And then the missed kick, but it's a lot to put a kicker in a position to win a game with a 60-yard touchdown. But we're going to see who has it. Both defenses have made plays. Both offenses have made plays. May come down to the special teams at the end of this overtime. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely nuts. Just a juggernaut of an offensive afternoon. Both of these teams, before this game is over, are going to have 500 total yards.
One timeout per overtime per team.
I mean, it's amazing. Western Oregon's run almost 30 more plays.
Understood?
It's basketball on the football field. Back and forth the whole day.
Calls heads. It's tails. You want defense, offense, or defend the goal?
We'll take defense.
Okay. You get defend the goal or off? That way? Okay. Put your backs here. Humboldt State will get the ball first. First and 10 this way. Good luck, man.
So the Kansas plan, right? We're going to be on the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Western Oregon won the toss, and so Humboldt lost the toss, we'll say it that way. And you want to get the ball, you want to be on defense first. So your offense knows what it needs to do. And if you can get a stop here, all you need is a field goal then. But at least they'll know what they need to do in that second part of overtime. But you go from the 25-yard line. Each team will get a chance to score. If it goes to 3 overtimes, if it goes that far, then it changes up a little bit at that point, but we'll talk about that then if it happens.
You already foreshadowed it. We already said this early on in the fourth quarter. You said possibly. So I'm just going to say 3 overtimes right now. Nobody's going home.
No, everybody's having a good time.
The funny thing is, one of the crowd, definitely probably an alumni, always got a kid going here. He's imploring the section here to start cheering. And for the first time, you're actually going to hear this crowd They understand.
It's a home opener.
Yeah, it's been a really good football game. It's been highly entertaining. Strange formation. First bunch trips formation I've seen all day out of Humboldt State on the right side. They give the ball to Gardner. Gardner was going to throw the ball. He tucks it away. And Western Oregon, I have got to tell you, on film, they're going to go ballistic on the number of times that they didn't tackle somebody wearing a white shirt.
Well, you called it right away. You saw something a little bit different there. It was a halfback pass, but the DBs did a great job, but his man-to-man down the field, which left an opening up the middle.
Tyler Johnson's the one that comes back and saves the day.
Tyler Johnson's there. It's got to be him because he's the one that's making plays across all around the field.
13-yard pickup for Gardner on a busted play, and they reward the running back, giving it right back to him, giving him the pill, and he takes it right down to the 5-yard line. And I'll tell you, man, it looks like somebody just breathed new life into Humboldt State.
They did get new life. They had almost lost the game just now, and you're going to give it to your man Gardner, who's just tearing up the field right now.
They look fresh. They look rejuvenated. Ball is on the 5-yard line. Western Oregon, a great little stand in the middle. It'll bring up 3rd down and a longish 2 to almost 3 yards.
Again, another run up the middle, but Johnson and the rest of the linebacking core there to make a stop and set up a big 3rd down, 3rd and short.
One of the things we haven't seen today is, do we know if Robert Weber's got any mobility? Is this a play where you do put him on the boot or put him somewhere where he's dragging people across and either going to run the ball or be able to throw the ball on the run? They give it to Jacon Gardner. And Gardner may or may not have got that 1st down.
Side judge says it's short, so.
And he's got to go. They're going to go.
Well, it is overtime. You get a field goal, that means the other team would have to score the touchdown. But you have 3 points here. If you don't get any points, all the other team has to do.
4th and 1 on the 3-yard line on the opening possession of overtime in the home opener for Western Oregon.
As the crowd's getting into it now, there'll be a timeout on the field.
Timeout.
We'll step away for a short break, and we will get back to this game back on Valley 17. We're going to pick it up. I'm going to let you know that Gardner basically just trampled the entire offensive and defensive lines for a touchdown in the opening possession of overtime.
Yeah, that offensive line created a perfect hole for the running back to score a touchdown on. A very gutsy call to go for it on 4th and 1 results in a touchdown, and it hands Humboldt State at least a 6-point lead and possibly 7 here in a second.
First lead now in 3+ quarters of football for the number 22 ranked road team. The kick is up, and it is good.
Well, with a Western Oregon offense that's had some issues on that last drive when they had a chance to win the game, they're going to have to regroup now down 7 and go that 25 yards. They can. They've been doing well all day.
Do they go to opposite sides of the field for this? Or do they all stay on this side of the field?
No, I believe they should change because you get an option of wind as well as part of the
okay.
It's part of that coin toss at the beginning of overtime.
We've talked about adversity a little bit facing this Western Oregon team today, Michael Brown, and right now I have to think that if you thought it was tense after the first 2 big touchdowns, the talk right now has got to be, hey, look, what we've been doing all day got us to this position. We got to keep this thing going, and they've got to find a way to flourish at a time right now when it looks like their back is really up against the wall.
Paul Revis has 14 receptions for 146 yards. At that point, you know, he's the person they've been going to all day, and he has been open. Suarez a little bit more in the 4th quarter, but the most important thing is that they get good snaps and get a good drive going and just get the momentum they had at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
Again, interesting setup here for Western Oregon. They'll go with trips wide receivers wide right. Duckworth now almost intercepted. I don't know what Nick Duckworth saw, but it wasn't what you want to see. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 and a sigh of relief.
Must have been a timing route. They think they know what's supposed to be, where everybody's supposed to be at that time, but miscommunication between the receiver and Duckworth. Fortunately, there was a drop by the defense, and it gives Western Oregon another chance.
Exceptionally lucky there. I mean, that's the first bad pass I've seen Nick Duckworth throw all afternoon. Revis now set in the backfield, right side of Nick Duckworth.
Some confusion on the defense.
And there's going to be a false start. What in the good graces of...
Prior to the snap, false start, number 4 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Pisano cannot have a false start as a receiver on that play.
I think they were going to run it looked like the receiver was going to throw a pass. He may have just been playing around after the play, but they looked like they were going to do something different there, and I think got the team a little bit jumpy, and unfortunately there's another penalty after the bad penalties they had in the end of the fourth quarter.
Oof. Job getting more difficult for this Western Oregon offense now on the 30-yard line. It's second down and 15 in overtime. Suarez a little bit too tall, cannot corral the pass. It's incomplete.
Crossing pattern. Duckworth had plenty of time. Pass is just a little bit high. Receiver probably should have had that catch, but I don't know that he would have had much of a gain after that. The linebacker was right on him at the time, but sets up 3rd and long. Again, this is 4-down territory being in overtime at this point.
Revis has man coverage on the bottom of your screen. McKenzie there. Humboldt showing blitz, trying to get pressure. Stepping up is Duckworth, throwing it to Revis, and Revis corrals it. He takes it in for the touchdown. 30-yard score, the Wolves with an extra point to tie it up.
Duckworth sitting back, has time again, even with the blitz. Takes his time. I thought he should have threw it earlier, but he's waiting for his man to come open, and Revis bobbles it, but makes the great catch. PAT, we'll see what happens, but that should tie the game.
Wow.
Timeout, Western Oregon.
So you get a timeout per, we'll keep it here. You get a timeout per in overtime.
Correct.
They're going to have a talk. We're at home. How frisky are they feeling right now?
It just depends if the coach thinks that the defense can't stop them, or they just think they have the momentum right now.
Or do you think you have a play? Like you have the play, like they're not going to get it?
So far in a game when it's 49-48, each team's had quite a bit of plays. So they have plenty of plays that they like. It's just there's a lot that goes into it. You know, he knows his team. He knows what maybe they're too tired. Maybe he knows they're too hurt at this point to go for it and try to win the game. Or maybe he thinks he's better. You know, it just depends.
Well, Revis is there to take the snap.
That looks like they're going to go for the tie.
Adrian Soldana. Good snap. Kick is up. It is no good. Western Oregon absolutely in a state of shock.
I didn't see that it was blocked. I think he just hit it wide right.
Sefu completely cheering on with his teammates, making some gestures towards Western Oregon's crowd. That's 3 straight wins for Humboldt State. It's 49-48, and the player of the week on special teams, Adrian Soldana, kicks it wide left. And that is the difference in the football game in what was a back and forth barn burner. Michael Brown, welcome to your first live broadcast, and welcome to what it feels like when they say, like, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
It was that's tough. Both teams fought their heart out all game. It goes to overtime. You leave it to the kicker. You don't pay attention to the kicker until they miss something. Unfortunately, this is that time, even though he did hit 6 other ones as the game went along.
Countless others, I know. Tough way to tough sledding today. Western Oregon took some real big punches from this number 22 team, which now probably will move up a few spots in the rankings regardless, even though the score of the game. They are resilient today, trailing at 1 point, 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter at 35-14, and they stave off a very difficult loss in overtime. Kind of recapping some things today. Paul Revis obviously probably shares the honors with Nick Duckworth as the players of the game offensively. Revis, 15 catches, 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. He scored that touchdown just before the extra point. It was a great catch. And Nick Duckworth, 33 of 50 for 382 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's a day. Unbelievable. Looks like we're going to be handed our final stats here as we go over the game here. Taking a look at a few things. Step out, Jaquan Gardner today, 25 carries, 181 yards for the road team. And then they got what they needed out of, obviously, John Todd all day. 7 for 225, 3 touchdowns. And that means that they didn't just have a game manager in their quarterback today, but Robert Weber really led this team back.
Yeah, it's an interesting game. The whole game, you have terrible defense sometimes by both teams. You have terrible offense by both teams with penalties and turnovers, but you also have many, many, many great plays by both teams on both sides of the ball. It was a great game. Somebody had to lose at the end, always. You don't want it to go by an extra point, but anything can happen in a game. That's why you have to score touchdowns and stop them before overtime, and we would never come to this. Western Oregon had their chance on that last drive where they could have sealed it and put the game away, but those mistakes there, bigger than obviously the extra point is big, but
we will take the beautiful weather. We will take Monmouth, Oregon, and MacArthur Field from everybody at KWVT. It is a heartbreaking loss as Western Oregon moves to now 1-3 on the season, 0-1 in conference play. Our next televised broadcast coming up October the 14th. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff on Valley 17. On behalf of myself, Matt Palumbo, Mike Brown, and our director, Ken Louis-Tag, and everybody at KWVT. Football fans, wherever you may be, have a good day, travel safe, and we'll see you on October 14th.